Chapter 428. Speaking of this, Li Qianshue's expression changed. In the past, even if she and Su Qinghui didn't get along on the surface, at least their family was still together. What about now? Not only did she not get along with Su Qinghui, but she also couldn't get along with him on the surface. If Su Qinghui didn't care about her, why should she care about him? You want to go home, right? I want to go home. Su Peijian saw that her mother's attitude had softened, so she quickly added fuel to the fire. Just take it that we're going back to accompany grandfather, okay? Li Qianxue was silent for a moment. If possible, she didn't want to go against Su Qinghui. For so many years, it seemed that she had the final say in everything big and small. However, when it came down to it, she could never win against Su Qinghui. Since he dared to have a woman outside and was heartless to her, then he shouldn't blame her for being unjust. She was the one who gave birth to their daughter. Even if he didn't feel sorry for her, she would feel sorry for her. Li Qianxue patted Su Peijian's hand and made a decision. Don't go home. There are still a few days before the Lantern Festival. Let's go play for a few days before going back. Thank you, Mom. Su Peijian couldn't help but kiss Li Qianshue's cheek. Mom, you're the best. You. Li Qianxue poked Su Peijian's forehead, her eyes full of love. By the time Su Yusen arrived in the United States with the address given by Su Qinghui, Li Qianxue had already taken Su Peijian to Las Vegas. He could only fly over again. This time, Li Qianxue and Su Peijian met without a hitch. Sister. When he arrived, it was night time. Su Peijian and Li Qianxue were about to go out with their bags and coats in their hands. Where are you going? Let's go play downstairs. Su Peijian was in a bad mood and wanted to play a few rounds in the casino downstairs. Yusen, you came just in time. Do you want to join us? No. Su Yusen shook his head and looked at Li Qianxue. Mom, I have something to tell you. What is it that you can't tell me over the phone? Did you have to fly all the way to America just to tell me? Li Qianshue's hand was held by Su Peijian, so she couldn't move. She glanced at Su Yusen. He didn't look too well after flying all the way here. It seemed like he was exhausted. Have you eaten? I ate something on the plane. Not now. Li Qianxue did not miss the tiredness in her son's eyes. Even if you're not hungry, you must be tired, right? I'll go back to my room to rest first. We'll talk about it after you've rested. Mom, what I said is very important. Su Yusen took a step forward and was about to speak when he saw Su Peijian standing next to Li Qianxue. He thought for a moment and lowered his head helplessly. Forget it. I'll go and put my things down, then I'll accompany you down. Yusen, are you worried about us? Su Peijian smiled and patted her brother on the shoulder. All right. Don't worry. The security here is very good. Let me follow you. Otherwise, you're not allowed to go. Su Yusen was very insistent. He looked at Li Qianxue and said, If you don't let me follow you, I will tell Grandpa that you came to the casino to play. This time, it wasn't just Su Peijian. Li Qianshue's expression did not look too good either. Old Master Li didn't like young people to gamble. No matter what kind of entertainment it was fine to have fun, but once it was involved in gambling, it was out of the question. His health was not very good. Even Li Qianxue had to be careful. All right. I'll let you follow me. You haven't learned anything else since you grew up, but you've learned your father's way of managing people. Li Qianxue would not say anything bad about her father. If Su Yusen wanted to be like him, he would be like Su Qinghui. Brother, you're becoming more and more like Dad. Su Peijian added, not forgetting to lean in front of Li Qianxue and ask for her favor. I'm the best. I'm not like Dad at all. You're not just not like your father, you're not like me either. Li Qianxue pinched her cheek. There was no anger in her eyes, but more of a tease. I look like Grandma. Su Peijian had also seen a photo of Su Qinghui's mother. It had to be said that she really looked like her grandmother. The simple conversation between mother and daughter fell into Su Yusen's ears. He felt as if he had been struck by lightning. Su Peijian was not like her father or her mother. It was such a simple thing, but after so many years, no one paid attention to it. But Su Qingsang was different. She looked very much like Su Qinghui. To be honest, Su Qingsang and she were more like Su Qinghui's children. Yusin? Li Qianxue looked at her son in a daze and was a little worried. Are you too tired? If you are really too tired. He returned to his room to rest. Don't worry, we won't play for too long. We'll be back soon. Su Yusin stood there without moving. He nodded almost imperceptibly and carried his luggage into the room. When he came out again, he had already changed his clothes and was wearing a very decent three-piece suit. Although he was young, he often followed Su Qinghui and received an elite education, so he naturally had an imposing manner. He stood next to Li Qianxue. His tall figure gave her a sense of security. Mom, let me protect you today. Stupid Yusin, you only protect your mother and not me, right? That's right. You have a problem with that? You're so fierce, why would you need anyone to protect you? Sure. Are you itching for a beating? Su Peijian was about to attack Su Yusin as she spoke. This was originally a joke the two siblings often made in the past, but now Su Yusin was a little unable to bring it up. If it weren't for Su Qinghui's craziness, if it weren't for Su Qinghui's stubbornness, the one who did these things with him and was so close to him would only be Su Qingsang. Now it was Su Peijian. And even if one day he and Su Qingsang knew each other's identities, he was afraid that he and Su Qingsang would not be able to joke around like he did with Su Peijian. After all, the estrangement between them had been too long. It was difficult to repair the lost youth and friendship that grew up together. Li Qianxue sensitively noticed that her son's mood was not quite right today. She glanced at Su Peijian and said, "All right, your brother must be tired after coming all the way here. Don't disturb him." Unlike Su Qinghui, who only cared about Su Peijian, Li Qianxue could basically be fair to the two children. Occasionally, because Su Peijian was a girl and was her first child, she had to dote on her a little more. But in general, she still considered herself a very fair mother. As expected, Su Peijian stopped making trouble, but Su Yusin's expression was complicated. Li Qianxue loved Su Peijian so much. If he told the truth later, without much time to think, the three of them went downstairs. When they went to the magnificent hall, they saw a prosperous scene in front of them. Su Peijian liked crowds, and the scene in front of her was like a fish in water. Su Yusin had been following Li Qianxue and Su Peijian, watching them sit down in front of one dealer after another. They put down the chips, then got up and went to another. At first, she lost more than she won. Su Peijian lost a few million. She didn't take it seriously, and Li Qianxue naturally wouldn't take it seriously either. In such a place, a few million was like money. Su Yusin looked a little sad. He thought of Su Qingsang again. When she first bought that house, it was only 1 million or so. At that time, Su Peijian was not happy. She felt that Su Qinghui was too good to Su Qingsang. But in reality, all the enjoyment and fun that day should belong to Su Qingsang, not Su Peijian. Li Qianxue didn't want to play at first. Later, seeing that her daughter lost a lot, her hands were itching to try her luck. She didn't know if it was like what ordinary people said, losing in love, but winning in gambling. In more than half an hour, Li Qianxue not only earned back the millions that her daughter lost, but also won more than 10 million. Wow. Mom, you're so lucky today. Su Peijian's eyes lit up. Mom, continue. Which one do you think is better? Go big. Li Qianxue didn't care about the money, but the feeling of winning was very good. She swept away the anger she had suffered at Su Qinghui's hands. She pushed out more than half of the chips in her hand. Go big. She turned to look at Su Peijian, but her tone was a bit persuasive. This kind of thing, just play for a while. Don't take it too seriously. This is the last round. Whether we win or lose, we go back. Okay, listen to Mom. As Su Peijian spoke, she saw Su Yusin standing still out of the corner of her eye. She couldn't help but pat him on the shoulder. Yusin, what are you doing? You're here, but you don't play a few rounds. What? Not enough pocket money? How much do you want? I'll give it to you. I don't need your money. Li Qianxue looked at her daughter's generosity and smiled. Yusin, if you really want to play, I'll give you these chips. Mom will give these chips to you. No need. I'll just watch you play. Su Yusin glanced at the table and watched Li Qianxue put most of the chips on the big side. Mom, I think you should go small this round. Why? You've opened 7 small rounds in a row. Do you think this one is still small? It's possible. As Su Yusin spoke, he leaned over and put the chips on the small side. Anyway, it's the last round. Let's bet on this one. I'll listen to you. Li Qianxue didn't care about the money. If you win, these are all yours. Mom, you're so biased. Su Peizhen pouted, but she wasn't really unhappy. 5 minutes later, Su Yusin looked at the more than 30 million he had won and shook the check in his hand at Li Qianxue. Okay, I know you're good. Li Qianxue looked at her son, her eyes full of smiles. We won money today. Tomorrow, we'll go shopping. You guys are happy. Su Peizhen was very depressed. You all won money, but I lost. I'm really unlucky tonight. Although she didn't lose much, compared with Su Yusin and Li Qianxue's luck, she was much worse. I'll go back and make it up to you. Su Yusin looked at Su Peizhen and thought of the secret he knew. Maybe you've been too lucky in the past 20 years. That's why I want you to change your luck. Yusin, what nonsense are you talking about? Su Peizhen was suddenly unhappy, but Su Yusin was unwilling to change his words. He turned in the direction of the elevator. Mom, look at him. If Li Qianxue still couldn't see that Su Yusin was in a bad mood today, then she would have been Su Yusin's mother for so many years for nothing. Don't talk too much. The 3 of them went upstairs again. Li Qianxue asked Su Peizhen to go back to her room to rest, and she followed Su Yusin back to his room. Chapter 429. What happened in Lin City? Su Yusin also wanted to ask. He wanted to know what had happened. Why was it that his family was no longer like a home? Her father loved someone else and was with her mother for revenge. The mother couldn't get what she wanted. It was a pity that she had loved someone else's daughter for so many years. His sister was his sister, but she was no longer born to the same mother as him. His sister, who was born from the same mother as him, had now become the most distant member of the Yan family. Su Yusin was only 17 or 18 years old. Even if he had been raised by old Master Li's side at an early age. She also learned a lot from Su Qinghui. But how could those business things compare to getting along with family? He sat there without saying a word, and his whole person exuded a sense of dejection. Li Qianxue was shocked by Su Yusin's reaction. She had never seen Su Yusin like this. Her eyes were full of worry. Yusin, are you okay? Su Yusin suddenly reached out and hugged Li Qianxue. This action stunned Li Qianxue again. Ever since her son entered primary school, he had never been this close to her. The only thing Li Qianxue could think of was that something must have happened at home. Yusin, what happened at home? Tell me honestly. Su Yusin's voice was hoarse. He hugged Li Qianxue tightly. He was actually the same as Su Qingseng. He didn't dare to imagine Li Qianxue's reaction when she found out everything. It was hard to say. Yusin. Li Qianxue was even more worried about her son. Without thinking, she went to call Su Peizhen. If you don't tell me, I'll call your sister. Su Yusin grabbed Li Qianxue. Don't go yet. Li Qianxue looked at her son, her face full of confusion. What's wrong with you? Tell me. Su Yusin's lips were pressed into a straight line, and he looked very serious. When he put on such an expression, he looked very much like Su Qinghui. Li Qianxue frowned. Is it your father? What happened to your dad? Mom. Su Yusin looked up at Li Qianxue. Do you know that dad? Tell me. What happened to your dad? No matter how angry she was, Su Qinghui was the man she had loved for so many years. She grabbed Su Yusin's arm and said, Tell me. What happened to your dad? Daddy. Su Yusin didn't know what to say. He looked at Li Qianxue and thought about her endurance. If Dad did something wrong to you, sorry about me? What are you referring to? Li Qianxue's heart was beating very, very fast. Caring about Su Qinghui had almost become an instinct. It had been more than 20 years. Even if she didn't want to, she couldn't help but care about him. She's my sister. I was talking about Su Qingseng. Su Yusin carefully looked at Li Qianxue's expression. He kept thinking in his heart, about my sister, Su Qingseng. Do you know that she's actually, you know? Li Qinshue's expression was a little strange. She stood up straight and stared at Su Yusun's face. Now even you know? Su Yusun looked up at Li Qianxue, as if he didn't quite understand that Li Qianxue already knew. Mom, you know? Of course I know. Thinking of 7, Li Qianxue only felt a fire burning in her heart. Why do you think I came to the United States? Su Yusun stood up and said, Mom. Mom, you actually know? Li Qianxue's expression was ugly, but Su Yusun couldn't sit still anymore. Mom, since you know, why did you still treat sister like that? What did I do? Li Qianxue looked at Su Yusun and couldn't believe that he was actually speaking up for Su Qingseng. How did I treat her? What do you want me to do to her? Don't you want to acknowledge her? Don't you want to treat her better? Su Yusun's eyes widened. He thought of the relationship between Li Qianxue and Su Peizhen. Could it be that Li Qianxue really didn't mind? I'm good to her? Li Qianxue looked at her son as if she was looking at a madman. She didn't understand what Su Yusun meant by acknowledging her. Su Yusun, are you my son? You actually want me to be good to the daughter of another woman and your father? Li Qianshue's heart began to hurt at this moment. Su Qinghui had lied to her and hurt her, and now even her own son was siding with someone else. She only felt that her breath was stuck in her throat. She stared at Su Yusun as if she was looking at her own enemy. Su Yusun suddenly realized that Li Qianxue was not talking about the same thing as him at all. Mom, what are you thinking? How did sister become the child of another woman? Sister, she is you at all, Su Yusun. With a bang, the door opened. Su Peizhen stood at the door and glared at Su Yusun. What the hell is wrong with you? She quickly entered the door and raised her hand to point at Su Yusun. You flew all the way to the United States just to speak up for another woman's child? Have you ever thought about how I feel? The words that Su Yusun wanted to say were interrupted because of Su Peizhen's sudden appearance. He looked at Su Peizhen and thought of the sibling relationship between the two of them for more than 10 years. He suddenly couldn't say the rest of the words. Su Peizhen looked angry. Looking at Su Yusun's ugly face and then looking at Li Qianshue's hurt face, she was furious. Yusun, are you mom's son or not? Are you kidding me? What kind of attitude are you using to talk to mom? Have you been bewitched by a ghost? How dare you speak up for Su Qingseng? Do you know that she is not even that woman's child? She doesn't even know where the bastard came from. You actually quarreled with mom because of her, shut up. Who are you calling a bastard? Su Yusun couldn't help but interrupt Su Peizhen. She is also dad's daughter. She is also mom's daughter. With a slap, Li Qianxue raised her hand and slapped Su Yusun hard in the face. This was the first time she hit Su Yusun. The numbness from the slap made her take a few steps back. She looked at her palm and then at Su Yusun. There were tears in her eyes, but they didn't fall. She swallowed and thought about how she had been begging for more than 20 years but couldn't get it. She thought about how Su Qinghui used her love to hurt her again and again. She thought about many things, one by one. But all of them added up couldn't compare to the pain caused to her by her son standing on Su Qingsong's side and against her. Mom. Su Peizhen took a few steps forward and held Li Qianxue immediately. She glared at Su Yusun. Su Yusun, are you satisfied? Do you want me to die of anger before you're satisfied? Su Yusun's face was burning. He didn't even bother to raise his hand to cover it. He looked at Li Qianxue and couldn't say the rest of the words. I just don't want you to regret it. I regret it now. Li Qianxue actually regretted it a long time ago. But she was a proud person. She was so proud that even if she knew she had gone the wrong way, she was unwilling to look back. Her body trembled a little. She stared at Su Yusun blankly, only feeling that there was a fire burning in her heart, burning her to the point where she lost all reason. I regretted it a long time ago. She regretted marrying Su Qinghui. She regretted not leaving in time when she found out that he had no hope of falling in love with her. How many years had been missed by her just like that? She had always been a proud daughter of heaven. She had been held in the palm of someone's hand. In the end, for Su Qinghui, she retreated again and again and endured again and again. Pei-jin, let's go. She didn't want to see her son for the time being. She turned to leave, stumbling a little. Su Yusin took a step forward. He couldn't let Li Qianxue leave just like that. Do you know what you have missed all these years? Do you know that in fact, Dad? Enough. Li Qianxue closed her eyes. If you still think of me as your mother, don't say any more. I don't want to listen to you now. Su Yusin watched the door open and close in front of him. His whole person became more and more dejected. He took a few steps back and sat on the bed weakly. His whole person was filled with confusion. He was in a daze in the room for a long time. He didn't know how much time had passed. He abruptly stood up and quickly walked outside. Su Pei-jin was already asleep. He entered her room and looked at her deeply. She was his half-sister. He should turn around and leave, but he couldn't. He thought of the news he had received. Before the Lantern Festival, Su Qingsang would go to Rong City with Hu Jinyao. It was only a few days before the Lantern Festival. If Su Qingsang really went to Rong City, Li Qianxue would know, but she would also lose her daughter. Her real daughter. He took a few steps forward and walked to the bedside. He bent down and gently pulled out a strand of Su Pei-jin's hair. Holding the hair tightly, he turned around and walked to Li Qianxue's room. Li Qianxue had booked a presidential suite with a total of 3 rooms. He walked in and found that Li Qianxue was still awake. Mom. Li Qianxue sat on the sofa in front of the French window. Hearing his voice, she didn't turn her head. You still know that I am your mother? Of course I know. Su Yusin took a few steps forward. He squeezed Su Pei-jin's hair tightly in his palm and walked to Li Qianxue. Mom, sorry. My attitude wasn't very good today. Li Qianxue didn't speak. Her heart was broken. At first, it was her husband, and then it was her son. She felt that she had a hard life. She often thought that it might be because her previous life had been too smooth. That was why she couldn't get what she wanted for the rest of her life. Mom, why aren't you sleeping? Su Yusin's eyes were filled with pity. But he knew very well that if some things were not said, he was afraid that Li Qianxue would suffer even more in the future. Go to sleep. I can't sleep. Her life was a failure. Her husband didn't love her, and her son opposed her. Li Qianxue wanted to cry, but she was used to being dominant. She didn't even know how to cry now. Su Yusin stood in front of her. He looked at his mother's long hair. Chapter 430. What are you trying to say? Li Qianxue still didn't turn around. Her voice was a little hoarse, and it sounded a little suppressed. If you want to speak up for Su Qingsang, you don't have to. For so many years, she had not made a move against her, and that was already her greatest tolerance. If he still wanted her to treat Su Qingsang well, like her own daughter, she couldn't do it. She wasn't the Virgin Mary. Mom, I'm not trying to defend her. I just want to ask you, do you trust me? What are you trying to say? Li Qianxue finally turned around. She looked at Su Yusin, not understanding what he meant. Su Yusin reached out and placed his hand on Li Qianxue's shoulder. Mom, there are some things that I know you won't believe even if I tell you. So, I decided to skip the process. As he spoke, he pulled out a strand of hair from Li Qianxue's head. Su Yusin, what are you doing? Li Qianxue's scalp hurt. She couldn't help but glare at Su Yusin. What the hell do you want? Nothing. Su Yusin squeezed the 2 strands of hair in his palm. He stood up and said, Mom, have a good rest. I'm going out for a while. It's so late. Where are you going? Mom. Su Yusin took 2 steps back and looked at Li Qianxue. There was obvious pity in his eyes. He knew that when the result came out, Li Qianxue might be the first person who couldn't take it anymore. She might even break down and go crazy. But he was more afraid that Li Qianxue would find out too late. He was afraid that by the time she found out, it would already be too late to make up for it. With Li Qianxue's personality, she would not be able to take it. I have something to do, don't worry. I know what I'm doing. Unfortunately, you don't know. Li Qianxue watched her son walk out. Her scalp no longer hurt. She looked at her hair and then at the direction in which Su Yusin had left. What was Su Yusin trying to do? Because of this incident, Li Qianxue and Su Peijian were not in the mood to have fun the next day. The two of them wandered around the neighborhood and finally decided to book plane tickets to go home. Before leaving, Li Qianxue called Su Yusen. He hadn't been seen since he left last night. Now that they were going home, they wanted to ask him if he wanted to go with them. Su Yusen's call did not go through. Li Qianxue frowned. Su Peijian took the phone from her hand. I think he's already gone back to his country. This Yusen, he used to be quite sensible. Who would have thought that the things I've been doing recently are getting more and more out of line? Li Qianxue didn't say anything. It was rare for her not to respond to Su Peijian. Ever since Su Yusen pulled out a strand of her hair last night, she had had a strange feeling. Her intuition told her that something was about to happen, and it was related to her. But she couldn't think of what it could be. Su Peijian hooked her arm. Let's just book 3 tickets. If he wants to go back, he'll come with us. If he doesn't, we won't wait for him. Instead, he has grown up. Li Qianxue glanced at her daughter and didn't object. She booked 3 plane tickets to return home. The plane tickets were for the next afternoon, so they still had a chance to play here for a day. Before leaving, Li Qianxue finally got in touch with Su Yusen. He said that he had something important to do and would return with them tomorrow. Li Qianxue hung up the phone, but she didn't feel very happy. She could feel that her son had grown up and had begun to have his own thoughts and opinions. The only person she was close to now was her daughter. Lin City. Su Qingsang placed the soft cushion behind Xiang Kaiping. Mom, how do you feel? Do you feel uncomfortable anywhere? With this cushion on my back, how can I feel uncomfortable? Xiang Kaiping had been in the hospital for more than a month. The more she spent time with Su Qingsang, the closer she felt to her daughter. Although you can do some simple movements with your waist now, you still have to be careful. You have to come to the hospital regularly for checkups and rehabilitation. But we'll have to wait until we get to Rong City. Have the plane tickets been booked? Xiang Kaiping was a little emotional when she thought about returning to Rong City. They had gone around in circles, from Lin City to Rong City, and from Rong City back to Lin City. Jin Yao has everything arranged. Su Qingsang glanced at Hua Jin Yao as she spoke. He smiled and walked to the other side to support Xiang Kaiping. Mom, don't worry about the plane. It's all arranged. He asked his assistant to charter the plane and bring 2 doctors and 2 nurses with them. Xiang Caiping's waist injury had not fully recovered, so there were still many things that needed attention. Look, I said I was here to take care of you, but I ended up being taken care of by you. Mom, look at you. I don't like what you said. Su Qingsang helped her sit in the wheelchair. You are my mother. Shouldn't I take care of you? Xiang Kaiping didn't say anything, but she was really touched. Hua Jin Yao and Su Qingsang looked at each other and pushed Xiang Kaiping out of the ward together. When they got home, they helped Xiang Kaiping to rest for a while. Su Qingsang came out of the room and looked at Hua Jin Yao. When did you book the plane tickets? Why are you being so mysterious? I didn't book a plane ticket. I just chartered the plane. Hua Jin Yao could tell Su Qingsang now. The day after tomorrow. So soon? Not soon. Hua Jin Yao calculated the time for her. The day after tomorrow is the 13th of January. It won't be too early. The plane is at noon. Mom can sleep a little longer. When we arrive, we have to take Mom for a detailed examination and then help her settle down. After that, we can rest for a while. On the 15th, we can go home to spend the holiday with Grandpa. Su Qingsang nodded. Since Hua Jin Yao had arranged everything, she had nothing to worry about. Her face was calm, but there was some hesitation in her eyes. Hua Jin Yao took her hand and pulled her into his arms. I heard that Su Yusen also went to the United States. Really? That was good. The family of 3 went to have fun together. Do you want to go? If she wanted to go, he could arrange for someone to send Xiang Kaiping back to Rong City first. He would take Su Qingsang to the United States to see Li Qianxue alone. No need. What can I do if I go? Su Qingsang looked up and sighed softly. If she didn't know, she would be happier. Indeed. Hua Jin Yao also admitted this. That is if your father decides to give up revenge. He won't expose that cruel truth after so many years. Su Qingsang didn't look good. She wrapped her arms around Hu Jinyao's waist and rubbed her face against his. He won't, will he? I don't know. He wasn't Su Qinghui. He couldn't guarantee his future. But he could feel that Su Qinghui already regretted it. Su Qingsang didn't say anything. She hoped not. If Su Qinghui gave up revenge, then her choice today would be meaningful. If Su Qinghui didn't give up revenge, then her revenge today would be meaningless. I don't want to. Su Qingsang looked up at him. I already have the best husband in the world and the best mother in the world. Right? Yes. Hu Jinyao nodded and kissed her gently on the lips. Hu Jinyao. Su Qingsang leaned over to look at him. You will always be by my side, won't you? Of course. Hu Jinyao pressed his chin against the top of her head. I will always be by your side. Su Qingsang smiled with satisfaction. Her little face pressed against Hu Jinyao's chest and listened to his heartbeat. She felt that this was good. In order to make her daughter happy, Li Qianxue finally let go of her heart and followed Su Peijian to shop and go shopping. The mother and daughter swept through the pile of trophies. As a result, the suitcases they brought were all full. They bought 2 more suitcases, but it was still too little. Su Yusin came back at this time. He was holding a file bag in his hand. Seeing that Su Peijian was there, he calmly and casually put the file into his suitcase. Yusin, you came at the right time. We have too much luggage. Can your suitcase still fit? Yes. Su Yusin came in a hurry this time and didn't bring many clothes. He helped Su Peijian and Li Qianxue pack their luggage. They found that it was just right. The 3 of them had 6 suitcases. Su Yusin didn't speak. His silence was a little strange. Li Qianxue saw that her son was not right and decided to have a good talk with him when they returned to China. On the 13th of January, Li Qianxue and the other 2 took the plane yesterday afternoon. The plane landed this morning. Returning to Lin City, Su Peijian was a little nervous. Sitting in the car that Su Yusin arranged to pick her up, she looked at Li Qianxue nervously. Mom, will Dad be angry if he knows that I'm back? I don't care if he's angry or not. Li Qianxue had seen through Su Qinghui now. He didn't care about her, so why should she care about him? But Su Peijian wanted to say something. Although she knew that Su Qinghui loved her, she also knew that he had some principles. Sister, Su Yusin suddenly said lightly, why don't you go to a hotel for 2 days first? Or you can live in your apartment in the city. Let's go home first and see what Dad says. If he's not angry, you can go home? Yusin. Li Qianxue glanced at her son. She always felt that her son's arrangement was strange. Just go home directly. I'll see what your father dares to say with your grandfather around. Mom. Su Yusin's voice was faint. Let me go to the United States. Grandpa also supports it. Li Qianxue didn't say anything. Her face was a little ugly as she looked at Su Peijian. She didn't look good either. She pouted and looked at Su Yusin unhappily. But in the end, she was still afraid that Su Qinghui would be unhappy, so she went back to the apartment under her name. After Su Yusin sent her away, he followed Li Qianxue into the car. He raised the glass in the middle. Only the mother and son were left in the back of the car. Yusinyu? Su Yusin took out the document from the suitcase and put it in front of Li Qianxue. Mom, look at this. What is this? Li Qianxue looked at the document that was all in English and didn't reach out to take it. Chapter 431. Su Yusin looked at Li Qianxue expressionlessly. Only he knew how fast his heart was beating. How intense. In his eyes, there was a faint anticipation, as well as a reckless madness. Before he went to the United States, he had thought that maybe Hu Jinyao was talking nonsense. Maybe the kids weren't switched at all. He even wanted to find the paternity test report that Hu Jinyao had mentioned. But he couldn't find it. Unable to find it, he had doubts, disbelief, and anticipation in his heart. In fact, he knew better than anyone else that exposing Su Qingsang's identity would hurt Li Qianxue the most, not anyone else. When he did the DNA test for Li Qianxue and Su Peijian, he wondered if he was wrong. Was Hu Jinyao wrong? Could Su Qingsang be wrong? But now, he knew that only one person was at fault. Su Chenghui. Everything started with him. As Su Chenghui's son, he had to make up for his mistake. He wanted to get everything back on track. Paternity test? Li Qianxue looked at the report, and she had a bad feeling. You'll follow me. Su Yusun's voice was very soft. When I was in the United States, I took your and my sister's hair and did a paternity test. Li Qianxue's expression suddenly changed. Su Yusun, what do you mean? Su Peijian was her biological daughter, and now Su Yusun was doing a paternity test for her and Su Peijian? Was he crazy? Don't worry. Take a look first. I'll tell you what I mean after you're done. I don't want to see it. Li Qianxue's intuition told her that it was not something good. She refused to look at it. Are you sure? Are you sure you don't want to watch it? Su Yusun pushed the report a little closer. His gaze was firm as he stared straight at Li Qianxue's face. Li Qianxue thought about how Su Yusun had asked Su Peijian to leave as soon as he returned to Lin City. She also thought about how he had gone to the United States on purpose and how he had said those inexplicable things to her. She stared at him with wide eyes and slowly took the test results from him. She didn't rush to open it, but stared at Su Yusun in front of her. Su Yusun, what do you know? Tell me. Mom, you'd better finish reading first, then listen to me. Su Yusun tried his best to control it, but his voice still trembled. Who would have guessed? Who would have thought that Su Chenghui would do such a thing? Li Qianxue pulled out the report. She kept staring at Su Yusun's face. When the thin piece of paper was pulled out, she lowered her head and her gaze fell on the appraisal report. The appraisal report was done in America, and it was all in English. But for Li Qianxue, none of that was a problem. Her eyes were fixed on the English letters, almost as if she wanted to separate each letter and then reassemble it. But no matter how he disassembled it, no matter how he combined it, content that wouldn't change would never change. Li Qianxue and Su Peijian did not conform to the laws of inheritance, 100% ruled out as mother-daughter relationship. She squeezed the piece of paper tightly and looked up at Su Yusun. What did you do? What did you do? Su Yusun felt as if a huge stone was pressing down on his heart. He reached out and held Li Qianxue's hand tightly. Mom, you shouldn't ask me what I did. You should ask, what did my father do? Li Qianxue was a smart person. She squeezed Su Yusun's hand tightly. She was so hard that she almost pinched her nails into his flesh. What do you mean? What did your father do? Where's my daughter? Peijian isn't my daughter. Then what about my daughter? Where was the daughter she had given birth to after 10 months of pregnancy? If it wasn't for Su Peijian, where would she be now? Her eyes were red. Su Yusun couldn't bear it. He turned his face away. Mom, you've been watching over her all this time. Make it clear, Su Yusun. Su Yusun. Li Qianxue's hand tightened. Su Yusun was in pain, but he didn't pull her hand away. He closed his eyes and suppressed the urge to cry. He turned to look at Li Qianxue and said word by word. Don't you understand yet? You've been watching over her all this time. She's been living at home. Li Qianxue's hand loosened. Su Yusun's words pointed everything to a very terrible fact. He seemed to have said it the day he went to the United States. She heard it, but she didn't take it to heart. Now, Su Yusun had once again brought this matter to the table. Her faint woman's sixth sense allowed her to guess at this time. But she refused such speculation. She wanted to ask clearly. She wanted to be sure of the final answer. She bit her lips so hard that it almost bled. There was no longer a trace of elegance on her well-maintained face. There was only shock, disbelief, and rejection. Su Yusun, make it clear. What do you want to say? What do you want to say? Say it. Su Yusun chuckled. There was mockery, helplessness, bitterness, pity, and sympathy in that smile. Why do you still have to deceive yourself? You're so smart. You've already guessed it, haven't you? Impossible. Li Qianxue closed her eyes. In the blink of an eye, many images and many things flashed through her mind. She didn't believe it. How could she believe it? Su Yusun didn't give her a chance. He held her shoulders and stared at her face, his eyes full of sympathy. 25 years ago, the child you gave birth to was replaced by your father. He took that woman's child back and treated it as your child. And your child was taken away by him. I don't know what happened later, but in the end he still took the child back and raised it in the Su family. But that child was no longer the granddaughter of the Lee family. She was no longer the daughter of the Su family. That child became the illegitimate daughter of the Su family. It was Su Qingsang. Li Qianshue's face was so pale that there was no trace of blood. Her whole body froze there, sluggish and unable to move. Su Yusin couldn't bear to continue, but he had to continue. Su Qingsang is your daughter. She's my sister, my biological sister. It's all true. Hua Jinyao found out about his sister's background and went to his father to question him. I just heard it. Mom, did you hear it clearly? Su Qingsang is your daughter. Su Peijian she is. Su Yusin couldn't bear to say more. Once some things were uncovered, only the true ugliness would be revealed. He knew the result, but he had no choice but to uncover that piece of cloth. Li Qianxue had been listening to Su Yusin. Su Yusin was afraid that she wouldn't believe him, so he repeated what Hua Jinyao had said to Su Qinghui. The facts were clear. I know this may be hard for you, but the truth is, stop the car. Stop the car. Li Qianxue suddenly moved. She even forgot that the car was still moving and reached out to pull the door. Su Yusin quickly stopped her. Mom, what are you doing? I'm going to find Su Qinghui. I'm going to see Su Qinghui. Mom, stop the car. I'm going to find him. I'm going to find him and ask him. Li Qianshue's eyes were a little blank and empty. There was also disbelief and shock. She didn't believe it. She didn't want to believe a single word. It's no use looking for him. He won't admit it. Hua Jinyao had put all the evidence in front of Su Qinghui. Did he admit it? Not at all. He would never admit it, because this was his revenge. How could he admit to Li Qianxue that he had done something wrong? Li Qianxue stopped moving and leaned back in the chair weakly. She felt a sharp pain in her heart. Someone was holding a knife and stabbing her heart again and again. She couldn't stand the pain anymore. She sat up and could hardly sit still. It hurt. It really hurt. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. I don't believe a single word. Her voice was soft and trembling. Whether you believe it or not, it's the truth. Su Qingsang is your daughter. She's my sister. Su Yusin reached out and held her. His eyes were firm. Mom, I've already asked the driver to go to my sister's house. She's my sister. We're going to take her home. Li Qianxue lowered her head again. Su Yusin felt hot tears fall on the back of his hand. The temperature almost burned him. He could still feel Li Qianxue trembling. She had suffered a blow. He knew. But such a blow would come sooner or later. If he hadn't heard the conversation between Su Qinghui and Hua Jinyao, he could pretend that nothing had happened. If he hadn't done a paternity test for Su Peijian and Li Qianxue, he could pretend that nothing had happened. But he couldn't. He couldn't just turn a blind eye to it. He couldn't let Su Qinghui keep deceiving them. More importantly, he couldn't still treat Su Qingsang as an illegitimate daughter, knowing that she was his biological sister. After Li Qianshue's heart ached, her head felt like it was about to explode. Countless images and conversations flashed through her mind. Her argument with Su Qinghui. That day, Su Qinghui kept saying that he didn't have other women. He was a proud man. She knew that. So when he said that he didn't have other women, she didn't believe him at the time. She only thought that he was making excuses for himself. Now, after listening to Su Yusin's words, she understood everything. Su Qinghui didn't have other women. He really didn't betray her. He didn't have a third woman. But what he did hurt her more than the fact that he had a woman outside. Her heart began to hurt again. Li Qianxue was in so much pain that her whole body was trembling. She leaned weakly on Su Yusin's shoulder. Mom, calm down. Su Yusin held her and didn't let her break down like this. Calm down. We still have to pick up my sister. Li Qianxue shook her head gently. Her eyes were blurred by tears. She couldn't see clearly, and she couldn't see clearly. She couldn't control her body's reaction. It was like she couldn't control her heartache. Chapter 432. How could he? Using all her strength, she could only squeeze out these few words. She was in so much pain that she almost fainted. Her fingernails dug into her palms and almost bled. How could he? How could he? How could he? She murmured, each word heavier than the last. In the end, she almost shouted, how could he? Su Yusin saw that her hand was bleeding. He hurriedly tried to grab her hand, but found that he couldn't. Mom, don't be like this. Su Yusin was frightened by Li Qianxue. Calm down. Don't be like this. Li Qianxue was in extreme pain. She only saw a white light in front of her. Su Yusin was frightened and watched her go into shock. Mom. He regretted it. He shouldn't have said, Mom. Li Qianxue woke up slowly. She felt as if all the strength in her body had been drained. Her palm was still bleeding, but she couldn't care less. She grabbed Su Yusin's collar and asked, where is she? You said to take me to her. Where is she? We'll be there soon. Su Yusin took a tissue and wiped the blood off her palm. Calm down. You'll scare my sister. According to Hu Jinyao, Su Qingsang might have known about it long ago, but she obviously didn't intend to acknowledge them. Li Qianxue closed her eyes. She wanted to calm down, but there was no way. How could he calm down? Who could remain calm? Li Qianxue thought of the last time she met Su Qingsang, when she went to the Su family to pay New Year's greetings. She recalled how she had gone to the hospital to avenge Su Peijian. At that time, she almost hit her. The last time they were together was such an unpleasant scene. Ah! Li Qianxue screamed. It was too unbearable. It was really unbearable. Her daughter. That was her daughter. She thought of Su Qingsang smiling and giving her a small gift, and the obvious flattery and weakness in her eyes. However, he had asked his assistant to throw the gift away. She couldn't think of any warm scenes between her and Su Qingsang. Not at all. The more he thought about it, the more painful it became. Li Qianxue held her head, completely unable to vent the waves of overly excited emotions in her heart. Calm down. Su Yusin's impression of Li Qianxue had always been elegant and noble. He had never seen Li Qianxue like this. Calm down, you'll scare my sister like this. Li Qianxue finally calmed down a little after hearing Su Yusin's words. She slowly raised her head and looked at him. Do you think we should go and see her now? Let's go see her now. Su Yusin gave her an affirmative look. He had already arranged it. Today, he was going to take Li Qianxue to see Su Qingsang. We'll be there soon. We'll be able to see my sister soon. Calm down. Otherwise, you'll scare my sister. Although Su Qingsang might not be scared at all. But he had to calm Li Qianxue down. Li Qianxue blinked. She had finally received a message from her son. She hastily wiped her face and said, all right. I don't like this. I don't like this. She wiped away the tears on her face and the blood on her palms. She looked at Su Yusin and asked, do I look ugly like this? Su Yusin wanted to cry. Mom, you're the most beautiful. Li Qianxue was not happy because of her son's praise. Instead, she thought of another thing. What about her? Does she know? Will she not want to acknowledge me? She was still very young. Li Qianxue was only in her 40s. She remembered those things just like Su Qingsang remembered her childhood. She also remembered some things with Su Qingsang. What was the most? Ignored. She couldn't see her and treated her as if she didn't exist. Li Qianxue searched all her memories but couldn't find a single memory of her being good to Su Qingsang. The only time was when she was 18 years old. Su Qinghui wanted to buy a house for Su Qingsang, and she said it casually. Since the house was bought, the car was also bought for her. She was going to leave the Su family anyway, so she didn't mind spending more money. In her opinion, the Su family had so many cars. It was nothing to buy an illegitimate daughter a car. However, she didn't buy it in the end. Su Qingsang said that buying a car as soon as she went to school was too high profile. She didn't buy a car until she graduated from college and worked. What was she thinking at that time? An illegitimate daughter was an illegitimate daughter. How petty of him. Buying a car could scare her like that. But in her heart, She felt that Su Qingsang was sensible and knew how to keep a low profile. However, if she didn't know how to keep a low profile, maybe with her personality, she wouldn't have been able to tolerate her. She couldn't think about it. She couldn't think about those past events at this time. Thinking about it made her feel very painful. Li Qinshue's eyes were tightly closed. What was even more painful was that she found that she couldn't remember more things. She couldn't remember anything else about Su Qingsang. All the memories of children growing up in her memory included Su Yusin, but more of Su Peijian. She remembered everything about Su Peijian growing up, but she didn't remember anything about Su Qingsang. She suddenly grabbed Su Yusin's arm. What should I do? Yusin, what should I do? Mom? What's wrong? I can't remember what she looked like when she was a child. Su Yusin was speechless. Not to mention Li Qianxue, his memory of Su Qingsang was also very vague. She had no sense of existence since she was a child. She was like a shadow in the Su family. If the Su family hadn't taken the initiative to ask, she wouldn't even have appeared. How did she grow up? Why can't I remember? Thinking of this, Li Qianxue felt a sharp pain in her heart again. How much had she missed? Mom, don't be like this. It's okay. It's okay. We still have a long time in the future. Don't be like this. Li Qianxue didn't speak. She didn't know what to say. His mind was in a mess and was in a mess. She couldn't think at all. She just wanted to see Su Qingsang as soon as possible. The car stopped downstairs of Su Qingsang's apartment while they were talking. Su Yusin got out of the car first, but Li Qianxue didn't even have the courage to get out. It was a long flight of more than 10 hours. From abroad to Lin City. She should have been exhausted, but now she only wanted to see her daughter as soon as possible. Su Qingsang, who was originally her daughter but had been ignored by her for more than 20 years. Li Qianxue almost couldn't stand steadily when she got out of the car. It took a lot of effort to stabilize her body. Su Yusin had been holding her and was very worried about her condition. Do you want to go back first? Li Qianxue was so excited now. He was afraid that she would lose control of her emotions later. If he remembered correctly, Su Qingsang was still with Xiang Kaiping. Li Qianxue naturally knew what he knew. She knew that Xiang Kaiping had returned and that Xiang Kaiping had mistaken Su Qingsang as her daughter and recognized her. I'm fine. Those things didn't matter. No matter who came, she would go and bring Su Qingsang back to the Su family today. Su Yusin also knew that he couldn't stop Li Qianxue from going up today, and he didn't think about stopping her. The two of them went upstairs together. Su Yusin glanced at Li Qianxue and knocked on the door first. There was no response. Su Yusin pressed the doorbell again. Still no one answered. His eyebrows twitched, and he took out his phone to call Su Qingsang. Today was the weekend, and he thought she would be at home. He was on the phone, and Li Qianxue looked at him nervously. Her eyes were full of nervousness and confusion. Sister, where are you? As soon as the phone was connected, Su Yusin couldn't wait to speak. His tone was a little anxious. Su Qingsang and Hua Jinyao had already boarded the plane. 2 nurses and a doctor were putting a cushion behind Xiang Kaiping. Su Qingsang had just said goodbye to Shi Mengwan, who had come to see her off. Shi Mengwan was no longer surprised by Hua Jinyao's wealth. She said that she must pick a time to go to Rong City and make money from Hua Jinyao. You are welcome to come anytime. I'm just afraid that you won't come. Don't worry. With a rich young lady like you in Rong City, I will definitely come for money. Shi Mengwan held her hand. I'm just afraid that you won't find me annoying when the time comes. Don't worry. Auntie wants you to come. Xiang Kaiping really liked Shi Mengwan. This girl's personality was too good. Auntie, I will come when the time comes. They chatted and laughed. It was almost time to leave. Shi Mengwan left. A group of people escorted Xiang Kaiping to the plane. Su Qingsang was about to ask Hua Jinyao when the plane would take off. Her cell phone rang. Yusin? Su Qingsang was a little surprised. She didn't quite understand why Su Yusin suddenly called her. I am at the airport. I am going back to Rong City. What? Su Yusin's eyes widened. He couldn't help but look at Li Qianxue. You are going back to Rong City with Hua Jinyao? Yes. Su Qingsang nodded. What's the matter, sister? Su Yusin still wanted to say something, but Li Qianxue had already snatched his phone away. Su Qingsang, come back here. Su Qingsang suddenly heard Li Qianxue's voice. Her hand trembled and the phone almost fell. She didn't expect to suddenly hear Li Qianxue's voice. Holding onto her phone, she stood there in a daze, unable to move. Come back. Li Qianxue didn't hear her response. She didn't know if Su Qingsang knew. She only knew that she wanted to see her daughter now. Now, immediately. Come back. But Su Qingsang blinked, as if she had finally found her voice. She wanted to call her aunt like she used to, but she couldn't. Qingsang, come back. Li Qianxue seemed to realize that she was too emotional. She softened her voice a little. I am your mother. I am your mother. Just one sentence, and Li Qianxue couldn't stop crying. She leaned against Su Yusin weakly and grabbed his arm tightly, using this action to soothe her emotions that were about to go out of control. Come back. I am your mother. I am your mother. Su Qingsang's hands began to tremble. She knew. She actually knew. Chapter 433. Su Qingsang sat there in a daze. Hua Jinyao's face was magnified in front of her, and she could barely hold the phone in her hand. On the other end of the phone, Li Qianxue didn't hear her voice. She was a little anxious. Qingsang, don't go. I'll wait for you here. Come back quickly. Come back now. Hua Jinyao couldn't hear the voice on the other end of the phone, but he knew it was Su Yusin calling her. He looked at her and moved his lips silently. What's wrong? Come back. Li Qianxue's voice was still ringing in his ears. It was filled with eagerness and anticipation. Qingsang, what's wrong? Xiang Kaiping also noticed that something was wrong with Su Qingsang. She knew Su Yusin. He was Su Qinghui's youngest son. Why was he looking for Su Qingsang? Did something happen to the Su family? Su Qingsang's lips moved. She received a message from the control tower. Tell their captain to prepare for takeoff. The stewardess used a rather sweet voice to remind them to fasten their seatbelts and return to their seats in preparation for takeoff. Su Qingsang blinked, looked at Hua Jinyao, and then looked at Xiang Kaiping. It was hard for her to make a choice. She had never faced such a difficult moment in her life. Her lips were pressed into a straight line. The palm holding the phone tightened, and her body trembled slightly. She almost wanted to rush out of the plane and find Li Qianxue. Qingsang, it's fine if you don't come back. You stay at the airport and don't move. Mommy will come and pick you up now. Li Qianxue's voice rang out again. Su Qingsang blinked and felt like crying. On the other side, Xiang Kaiping could no longer sit still. She remembered to come and see her. She looked at Xiang Kaiping and thought of Li Qianxue. His heart was in turmoil. How should she choose? If she stayed and reconciled with Li Qianxue, she would definitely hurt Xiang Kaiping. She had already been hurt by Su Qinghui, and now Li Qianxue's daughter had to stab her in the back again? If you don't stay, she would hurt Li Qianxue's heart. She had been raising other men's women for more than 20 years. Now she wanted to recognize herself. But she had misgivings. Qingsang, did you hear me? Li Qianxue was still calling her. Su Qingsang could hear the sobs in her voice. At the same time, Xiang Kaiping was already sitting in front of her. She looked at her, her gentle eyes full of worry. Su Qingsang looked at Xiang Caiping's worried eyes and closed them. I'm sorry. She heard herself say the words in a very soft voice. Then he hung up. Qingsang? Xiang Kaiping looked worried. Are you okay? I'm fine. Su Qingsang smiled stiffly. I'm fine. Qingsang? Xiang Kaiping did not believe it at all. Su Qingsang forced herself to smile. I'm really fine. Yusin blamed me for not telling him before I left. She's throwing a tantrum. Xiang Kaiping stopped talking. She could feel that Su Qingsang was very close to her brother. To be honest, she did not have a good impression of the Su family. No matter which one it was. How could Su Qingsang not know that? She patted Xiang Kaiping on the shoulder. Mom, you should rest. Just take a nap and we'll be there. Su Qingsang's voice was slightly disguised. Xiang Kaiping didn't think much of it. She thought that she didn't want to upset her, so she didn't mention Su Yusin. She returned to her seat and sat down. Xiao Ning and Xiao Yu sat on her left and right, chatting with her. Hua Jinyao sat next to Su Qingsang. He held her hand and found that her hand was as cold as ice. "Are you okay?" His voice was very soft. Su Qingsang glanced at him, moved her lips, and only said 4 words. She didn't make a sound, but Hua Jinyao saw it clearly. She said that she was back. "Who is she?" "Li Qianxue." Su Qingsang hugged him, her face pressed tightly against his chest. Her voice was very soft. "She knows. She knows. She wants me to stay." Her voice was full of struggle. Hua Jinyao tightened his arms around her waist. "You refused her?" "What else?" Su Qingsang looked up at him. Her voice was very soft, but there were tears in the corners of her eyes. "What about her?" She was referring to Xiang Kaiping. Hua Jinyao looked into her eyes and couldn't answer her question. Xiang Kaiping and Su Qingsang had been together for a few months, and they had developed a mother-daughter relationship. Su Qingsang didn't want to hurt Xiang Kaiping, so she hung up the phone in a hurry. But her action would definitely hurt Li Qianxue. "Hua Jinyao." Su Qingsang's voice was very soft, so soft that Hua Jinyao could only hear it clearly with his lips pressed against hers. "I hurt her. What should I do? I hurt her. She refused to stay. She didn't get off the plane. She didn't dare to think about Li Qianshue's feelings. She wanted to cry, but she couldn't even cry now, because if she cried, it would arouse Xiang Caiping's suspicion." Hua Jinyao hugged her tightly, and the flight attendant was still reminding them of the precautions before takeoff. Hua Jinyao wrapped his arms around Su Qingsang's body and felt her trembling in his arms. Her eyes were full of struggle, and her heart was full of struggle. If she hadn't misunderstood that Xiang Kaiping was her mother, if she hadn't been with Xiang Kaiping for a few months, at this time, she would have rushed off the plane without a care. Hua Jinyao didn't need to look at Su Qingsang's eyes to feel her current state. He glanced in Xiang Caiping's direction. She was chatting with 2 nurses. From time to time, she glanced in their direction. When they saw Hua Jinyao and Su Qingsang hugging each other, there were faint smiles and teasing in their eyes. In Xiang Caiping's opinion, her daughter and son-in-law had a good relationship. That made her happier than anything else. But only Hua Jinyao knew that Su Qingsang, whose body was covered by him, was trembling at this moment. She didn't cry, nor did she shed tears. But seeing Su Qingsang like this made his heart ache even more. He couldn't blame her for making the wrong choice. No matter which side she chose, she would hurt the other side. If it was Hua Jinyao, he didn't know how to choose. He turned his eyes and gave Yang Wenchang, who was behind him, a look. Yang Wenchang got up. Hua Jinyao wrapped his arms around Su Qingsang's and pressed her body tightly into his arms. With his other hand, he took out his phone and typed a line of words. His movements were very light, and his hand was placed behind Su Qingsang, so Su Qingsang didn't see it. Yang Wenchang, however, saw it clearly. Yang Wenchang looked at him with a shocked expression. After getting an affirmative answer from him, he quietly got up and walked to the front. Hua Jinyao still had his arms around Su Qingsang's waist. He gently patted her back and said, "If you want to go back, we'll stop." "No," Su Qingsang said in a very low voice. Her breath brushed against Hua Jinyao's face. "No. Why not? You can go back if you want." Su Qingsang bit her lip and tightened her arms around Hua Jinyao's waist. "What about her? What about Grandpa? You've already told them that we're going back." She had never been willful since she was a child. She felt that she didn't have the right to be willful. She was used to suppressing herself and restraining herself, even at a moment like this. Most importantly, she really didn't want to hurt Xiang Kaiping. "Ladies and gentlemen, I'm very sorry to inform you that there's a small problem with the plane. We need to repair the plane now. The specific flight time will be arranged by the mechanic." Hearing this, Su Qingsang suddenly widened her eyes. She looked up at Hua Jinyao, and he was also looking at her. Su Qingsang bit her lip hard and said, "This." Hua Jinyao put his arms around her waist, turned his face, and gently kissed her on the forehead. "You see, God has made a choice for you. go and see her. Xiang Kaiping was also stunned. She didn't expect the plane to break down. Jingyao, why did the plane break down? How long will it take? I don't know. Why don't we go back and rest first? Hua Jingyao looked at the time. This place is very close to the villa I bought for Qingsang. Mom, why don't we go there and rest for a while? Okay. Only then did Xiang Kaiping realize that Su Qingsang had been snuggling in Hua Jinyao's arms. Child, get off the plane first. You can hug her as you like when we get home. It's okay. I like her like this. Hua Jinyao put his arms around Su Qingsang's waist tightly and looked at Xiang Kaiping. Look, I'll ask Wenshang to take you back first. Qingsang and I will talk to the airport staff and see when the next flight will be. Okay. Xiang Kaiping didn't think too much. Yang Wenshang took her, Xiao Ning, and Xiao Yu off the plane. Su Qingsang even showed her face when she left and waved at her nonchalantly. When Xiang Caiping's figure disappeared in front of her, she grabbed Hua Jinyao's arm and said, Hua Jinyao, let's go. I'll take you. Su Qingsang's heart was beating fast. She wanted to see Li Qianxue. But, I'm a little scared. Hua Jinyao looked at her and couldn't help but lean over and plant a kiss on her cheek. Don't be scared. I'll go with you. Su Qingsang's heart was still beating fast, but Hua Jinyao's eyes calmed her down. Let's go. She wanted to see Li Qianxue. She really wanted to. Li Qianxue, who was at the door of Su Qingsang's apartment, had already fallen to the ground. Su Yusin was anxious and quickly helped her up. Get up. What did sister say? Did she come back? Li Qianxue didn't move. She clenched her phone tightly, her face full of tears. She didn't come back. She left. Mom. Su Yusin was stunned. He thought that Su Qingsang would be very happy to recognize Li Qianxue. I know. She won't come back. She won't recognize me either. Li Qianxue's face was full of despair. Su Yusin wanted to help her up, but he couldn't. She hates me. I know. I know it all. She didn't treat her well at all. Su Qingsang deserved to hate her. She won't. Sister won't. Su Yusin believed that Su Qingsang wasn't that kind of person. He reached out and pulled Li Qianxue up. Don't be like this. Let's go find her. Isn't she going to Rong City? We'll go to Rong City too. Let's go find her now. Li Qianxue stood up. Her legs were still a little weak. She shook her head. It's useless. It's useless. She won't recognize me. Chapter 434. Li Qianxue thought of the time when Su Qingsang was in trouble before. She even secretly played some tricks. She wanted Su Qingsang to leave Lin City. She couldn't even think about it. Just thinking about it made her go crazy. She hates me. She hates me. Su Yusin was about to cry. He hugged Li Qianxue. Don't be like this. Let's go find her now. I believe she will recognize you. Li Qianxue didn't listen at all. She really couldn't find a reason for Su Qingsang to forgive her. If she were Su Qingsang, she probably wouldn't acknowledge such a mother, would she? Let's go. Su Yusin took her to the elevator. Li Qianxue suddenly waved his hand away. Suddenly she stood up. Her cold and elegant face was full of determination. Su Yusin was startled by her actions. What are you, Yusin? We are going to Rong City. I'm going to look for your sister. Li Qianxue took a deep breath to calm herself down. All right. Let's go now. But... Li Qianxue's voice turned cold, and her eyes were full of hatred. Before we go to Rong City, we have to go home first. Mom. Su Yusin looked at her expression and seemed to know what she was going to do. Let's go. After all, Li Qianxue was someone who had been through a lot. She had already calmed down. She wanted to find her daughter, but before that, she didn't want to let go of the culprit who caused her and her daughter to not know each other. Even if that person was the man she had loved for more than 20 years. This time, she would not let it go just like that. Old Master Li looked at Su Chenghui in front of him and then at the chessboard between them. What's wrong with Chenghui today? He seemed absent-minded? This isn't your style, is it? Su Chenghui looked up at the old man, and then his eyes fell on the chessboard. Only then did he realize that he had placed 2 pieces in the wrong place. It's nothing. Picking up the 3rd chess piece, Su Qinghui suppressed the uneasiness in his heart. He had a feeling that something bad was going to happen. Old Master Li watched him place a chess piece and followed suit. He didn't rush to land on the chessboard. Instead, he looked at Su Qinghui. Qianxue has been in the United States for many days. Now, Yusin was going to accompany her. It's the new year, and the house is cold and empty. There are only the 2 of us. Su Qinghui had nothing to say. In the past, Li Qianxue wouldn't lose her temper with him for long. But this time, because of Su Peijian, he had been upset until now. Your wife and children have run away. Why didn't you call them back? Putting down the chess piece, Old Master Li's voice sounded gentle, but there was a hint of accusation in it. Su Qinghui bit his lip and felt a little guilty. Since Qianxue wants to go out to play, let her play for a few days before coming back. Old Master Li didn't say anything. Su Qinghui had lost the game. Looks like you're not in the mood to play chess with me today. Old Master Li looked at Su Qinghui and sighed. He was about to ask someone to come in and collect the chessboard. The door of the house was pushed open forcefully. As the cold wind blew in, the old man glanced at the door. Li Qianxue stood there with Su Yusin by her side. Both of them didn't look too good. You're back. Old Master Li was still very happy to see his daughter. Why didn't you tell me? I could have sent someone to pick you up. You're back? Su Qinghui saw Li Qianxue and stood up. He looked at Su Yusin and said, Yusin, why didn't you tell me before you went to the United States? Li Qianxue walked towards Su Qinghui step by step. Su Qinghui was stunned by the look in her eyes. Su Yusin's footsteps moved, but he stood there and didn't move. Li Qianxue stared at Su Qinghui. Her hands hanging by her side were tightly clenched into fists. Her palm, which had been bleeding from her pinch before, was bleeding again. Old Master Li and Su Qinghui both looked at her face. Only Su Yusin saw the blood dripping from Li Qianxue's palm. Mom, he called out to Li Qianxue, but Li Qianxue turned a deaf ear. She had already walked in front of Su Qinghui. Su Qinghui had never seen Li Qianxue like this. His heart was beating a little fast, and he felt a little uneasy. Qianxue. Pa! A slap on the face. It landed heavily on Su Qinghui's face. Li Qianxue's palm was bleeding. With this slap, Su Qinghui's face was also stained with blood. This slap was hard and hard, even harder than when she misunderstood that he had a woman. Su Qinghui was stunned. Li Qianxue, with another slap, Li Qianxue slapped him for the 2nd time. Her anger was so great that her whole body was trembling. Her palms were numb because of these 2 slaps, but she didn't think it was enough. When she raised her hand and was about to slap him for the 3rd time, Old Master Li stood up. Qianxue, what are you doing? Li Qianxue panted heavily. Her palms hurt, and her heart hurt even more. She couldn't breathe when she thought of Su Qingsang's apology when she hung up the phone. When she thought of how she had ignored Su Qingsang for so many years, she felt as if her heart had been stabbed by a knife. Her hand was still in midair. Looking at Su Qinghui's bloody face, she clenched and loosened her fists, loosened and clenched them again. In the end, she put her hand down bit by bit. She stared at Su Qinghui and spoke word by word in an extremely slow tone. Su Qinghui, let's get a divorce. Su Qinghui's face was still burning with pain. Because of Li Qianxue's words, his expression was momentarily stunned. Su Qinghui, let's get a divorce. Li Qianxue said it again. When she said those 4 words, she could feel that her whole body was relaxed. It was as if she had thrown away a burden that had been weighing on her for many years. She stared at Su Qinghui's face and spoke very slowly, but quite firmly. Su Qinghui, this time, no matter who says it. I'm going to divorce you. Qianxue. Old Master Li looked at his daughter. He finally saw that his daughter's palm was actually bleeding. He quickly walked in front of Li Qianxue. What's wrong with you? What happened? Li Qianxue didn't answer his question. She just stared at Su Qinghui, firmly and closely staring at this man. This man she had loved and begged for more than 20 years. She wanted to firmly remember how cruel, heartless, and vicious this man was. Qianxue? What happened? Old Master Li couldn't get an answer from his daughter, so he went to see Su Yusin. Su Yusin had already entered the door. When he saw the doubt in Old Master Li's eyes, he didn't say a word. Qianxue. Old Master Li remembered that Li Qianxue had gone to the United States to see Su Peixian. Could it be that something had happened to Su Peixian? Li Qianxue was in no mood to see her father at this time. At this time, there was only Su Qinghui in her eyes. Su Qinghui looked at Li Qianxue. His faint premonition had come true. When he met Li Qianxue's gaze, he suddenly realized one thing. Li Qianxue was going to give up on him. She didn't want him anymore. This realization made Su Qinghui panic. He didn't even have the time to ask what made Li Qianxue like this. Qianxue, you're not calm now. We'll talk when you calm down. Su Qinghui, I hate you. Li Qianxue interrupted him. She looked at him, and the little things between the two of them over the years flashed through her mind. I really hate you. I have never hated you as much as I do now. She really hated him. Do you know how much I hate you? If I had a knife in my hand, I swear that I would kill you right now without hesitation. Her voice was a little hoarse. She was too tired after the long journey. After a long flight, she found out that the daughter she had raised for more than 20 years was not her own. But now, her own daughter didn't want her anymore and left. Li Qianxue was able to hold on until now without going crazy or breaking down because Su Yusin had been with her. It was because she still held on to a glimmer of faith. She still wanted to see her real, biological daughter. Those thoughts supported her and kept her from collapsing. But at this time, those emotions urgently needed an outlet. I really, really want to kill you. Cut into pieces. Li Qianxue's words stunned Su Qinghui again. He looked at Li Qianxue, and a possibility flashed through his mind. Li Qianxue, did she know? But how could it be? The panic in his heart grew. Su Qinghui didn't know how to react at this time. Su Qinghui, I can forgive you if you don't love me. I can forgive you if you hurt me. But you shouldn't have lied to me. Not only had she lied to him. What Su Qinghui had done, it had gone far beyond the scope of the word lie. Old Master Li looked at Li Qianxue and sensitively felt that something seemed to be wrong. Qianxue, what on earth is going on? What happened? He knew how much his daughter loved Su Qinghui. For more than 20 years, the couple had treated each other with respect on the surface, but he more or less knew what was going on inside. He had always disliked Su Qinghui treating his daughter like this. But he always thought that they were married anyway. As time passed, Su Qinghui would slowly see the good in his daughter. In recent years, the relationship between his son-in-law and daughter seemed to have warmed up a lot. But now listening to his daughter, it seemed that it was not the case at all. Li Qianxue closed her eyes. When she opened them again, she still couldn't suppress the rolling emotions in her chest. You know? How could it be? Su Qinghui suddenly looked at Su Yusin. What on earth was going on? How did Li Qianxue know? Li Qianxue sneered. Her smile was cold. Do you think you can hide it from everyone for a lifetime? Do you think you can lie for a lifetime? Su Qinghui, in your dreams. Old Master Li looked at Li Qianxue, then at Su Qinghui, and finally back at his daughter. What on earth is going on? Tell me clearly. Li Qianxue sneered. She stretched out her hand and pointed at Su Qinghui. Ask him if you can ask this good son-in-law of yours. What did he do? Old Master Li's sharp eyes fell on Su Qinghui. Su Qinghui's legs were a little weak. He almost couldn't sit still. Chapter 435. He was shocked and looked at Li Qianxue in disbelief. He couldn't understand why she would know. Qianxue, you really know? Don't call me that. Li Qianxue pretended to be fierce. What? Do you think your secret will always be a secret? Do you think no one will know what you have done? Do you think you can play with me for the rest of my life? Really? I didn't. His impulse had led to this result. Su Qinghui had long regretted it. He really regretted it. But the more he regretted it, the more he couldn't say it. The more he regretted it, the more he wanted to hide it. He knew that he couldn't get Li Qianshue's forgiveness, so he just wanted to hide it until the end. Old Master Li couldn't stand it. They all knew what had happened, but he didn't. All of you, tell me clearly. What exactly happened? Li Qianxue sneered. Su Qinghui dared to do it, but she didn't dare to say it. She closed her eyes for a moment. It was only then that she remembered. In this family, apart from her, the person who loved Su Peijian the most was Old Master Li. Thinking of this, she hated Su Qinghui even more. She couldn't wait to drink his blood and eat his flesh. Tell me, Su Qinghui. Tell Dad all about the good things you've done. Su Qinghui lowered his head and almost didn't dare to meet the father and daughter's eyes. He looked guilty. It was obvious that something was wrong. Old Master Li suddenly turned to look at Su Yusin. Yusin, what is going on? Tell me. Su Yusin was about to speak when his cell phone rang. It was Su Qingsang. Sister? Yusin, where are you? It's me. Su Yusin's call made Su Qinghui and Li Qianxue look at him. Especially Li Qianxue. Is that Qingsang calling? Is it? Su Yusin nodded and pressed the speaker button. Sister, I am at home. I'm coming. Wait for me. I'll be right there. Su Qingsang had just arrived home and found that Su Yusin and Li Qianxue were not there. She panicked. She thought that Li Qianxue and Su Yusin had left. It wasn't until now that Su Qingsang was willing to admit that she really missed Li Qianxue. Don't worry, maybe your mother is looking for you. Hua Jinyao took out her phone as he spoke. Call Su Yusin and ask him where they are. Now that Su Yusin said that he was at home, she couldn't help but want to confirm again. Which house are you at? The Su family? Really? All right, I'll be right there. Tell Mom to wait for me. Su Qingsang didn't have time to say anything else. She hung up the phone and ran towards the elevator. Hua Jinyao held her hand and hugged her gently when he saw her anxious expression. Don't worry. Don't panic. She's right there. She won't leave. Su Qingsang didn't say anything but kept nodding. Hua Jinyao. Su Qingsang suddenly raised her hand and grabbed the front of his shirt. I'm very nervous. What should I do? Hua Jinyao stroked her face with his hand, and there was obvious love in his eyes. Don't be nervous. Believe me, she's more nervous than you are. Su Qingsang was stunned. Hua Jinyao put his hand on her shoulder to give her strength and confidence. Trust me, she's really more nervous than you are. So you can't be nervous now. You have to calm down. Otherwise, you'll scare her. Okay, I'm not nervous. Su Qingsang thought so, but she still couldn't help it. Her breathing became a little heavy. Hua Jinyao saw this and lowered his head to kiss her. He sealed her feelings with a kiss and kissed away her nervousness. Su Qingsang's heartbeat slowly calmed down in his kiss. The elevator arrived. Su Qingsang buried her face in his chest and gently rubbed against it. Thank you, Hua Jinyao. You're welcome. I took advantage of you too. Hearing this, Su Qingsang couldn't help but roll her eyes at him. This guy was really, let's go. Let's go see her. Okay. Su Qingsang calmed herself down. She only wanted to see Li Qianxue now. As for Xiang Kaiping and the Hua family in Rong City, she couldn't care less about them at this time. What did you say? Li Qianxue rushed in front of Su Yusin. Say it again. Sister didn't get on the plane. She's coming over now. Li Qianshue's body froze. She pressed her hand to her heart. It was beating very hard. She's really coming over now? Li Qianxue couldn't believe it. Wasn't Su Qingsang on the plane? She's coming over now. Su Yusin stepped forward and put his hand on Li Qianshue's shoulder. Calm down. Sister doesn't hate you. Look, isn't she coming to see you now? Li Qianxue couldn't say anything. She could only keep nodding. Old Master Li looked at the mother and son who were hugging each other in front of him, and then looked at Su Qinghui, who had his head down and looked as if he had suffered a blow. What the hell is going on? Who can tell me? He looked at Su Yusin. Yusin, you tell me. What the hell is going on? Sister is coming? Su Peijian? Isn't she in the United States? She's back in China? When did this happen? Su Yusin glanced at Li Qianxue. She was still very emotional at this time. She glanced at Su Qinghui coldly. When she met Su Yusin's gaze, she spoke quite calmly. "Tell your grandfather. He'll know sooner or later." Su Qinghui closed his eyes weakly. He couldn't face the next situation. That was what he had been running away from, but in the end he found that he couldn't escape at all. Su Yusin glanced at Su Qinghui. His lips were pursed into a straight line. He was silent for nearly a minute and looked at Old Master Li. In fact, this matter was quite difficult to talk about. Only now did Su Yusin realize that it was far more difficult to talk about this matter to Li Qianxue than to Old Master Li. "Grandfather, you're getting old. No matter what you'll hear later, please take care of your health. I'm an old bag of bones. Why can't I hold on? Just tell me what's the matter." Su Yusin glanced at him and turned to get the medicine that Old Master Li often used. Su Qinghui didn't speak during the process. It wasn't until he saw Su Yusin take the medicine that he finally moved. He walked in front of Old Master Li, his shoulders drooping. Let me say it. Because of his actions, Li Qianxue curled the corners of her mouth, revealing an extremely mocking smile. Su Yusin had already walked in front of Old Master Li and prepared the medicine in his hand. Su Qinghui closed his eyes. He turned his head and glanced at Li Qianxue. She stood there, her features as bright and beautiful as ever. A long-distance flight of more than 10 hours, plus the shock of knowing that Su Peijian wasn't her biological daughter. It made her look a little disheveled at this moment, losing her usual elegance. She curled the corners of her lips and looked at him mockingly. That gaze made his heart sting. His lips moved towards her. He had thousands of words to say, but at this moment he couldn't say a word. He turned his face and faced Old Master Li again. His head was still lowered. 25 years ago. The day Qianxue gave birth. "Dad, you happened to be away." Qianxue was in a coma due to dystocia. Li Qianxue slept for a day and a night. Many things happened in that one day and one night. Xiang Kaiping also gave birth. Coincidentally, she also gave birth to a daughter. He was possessed and did something unforgivable. A moment of impulse led to a long period of regret. But the more he regretted, the more he couldn't reveal it. The more he regretted, the more he couldn't reveal a trace of it. Li Qianxue had heard it from Su Yusin once. But when she heard with her own ears that her husband, the man she loved, had schemed against her like this, she was so angry that her whole body trembled. She could only constantly adjust her breathing to calm herself down. Old Master Li was already stunned. His body was trembling with anger, but he could only cover the position of his heart. "Grandpa, take care of yourself." Su Yusin immediately stepped forward and supported Old Master Li. "Do you want to take a quick-acting heart reliever first?" Old Master Li waved his hand and looked at Su Qinghui in front of him. He was holding a cane in his hand. He suddenly pushed Su Yusin away and raised the cane in his hand. It hit Su Qinghui's shoulder heavily. Su Qinghui's body was hit by such a blow, and he knelt down. But he didn't get up. Old Master Li raised the cane to hit him a second time. Su Qinghui didn't dodge and took the blow. When Old Master Li was about to hit him for the third time, he staggered and was about to fall back. "Grandpa! Dad!" Su Yusin and Li Qianxue stepped forward at the same time to support him and prevent him from falling. Old Master Li pointed at Su Qinghui. He gasped but couldn't say a word. You said 2 words, but you couldn't say a third one." Old Master Li covered the position of his heart, looking as if he couldn't bear it. Su Yusin was anxious. He quickly took the medicine and stuffed it into Old Master Li's mouth. Li Qianxue kept patting his chest. "Dad, calm down." "Grandpa, take care of yourself." Old Master Li pointed at Su Qinghui with a trembling hand. He wanted to scold someone, but he couldn't find the words. "Grandpa." Su Yusin's face was full of worry. Li Qianxue was too angry, but she was the calmest one among them. She patted Old Master Li's back to calm him down. This thing has happened now. We should think about how to make up for it in the future." Old Master Li spent a lot of effort and finally calmed down a little. He looked at Li Qianxue, his eyes full of guilt. "I hurt you, I hurt my granddaughter. I should have stopped you from marrying him back then. I should have stopped you. Dad. Li Qianxue wanted to cry. She pinched herself hard and shook her head. Let's not talk about it, okay? We won't talk about the past. We'll think about what to do in the future. Can we? We'll think about how to be good to Qingsang in the future. Can we? Old Master Li was a man of experience. He nodded and accepted his daughter's suggestion. I'll listen to you. I'll listen to you. He could listen to his daughter, but he really couldn't take it. Divorce. I support your divorce. Qianxue. This time, I won't stop you. Chapter 436. It's not up to you. Old Master Li was furious. The shares of the company, everything in this family. I won't give you a single cent. You will leave the family with nothing. He was furious. In the past, he was satisfied with his son-in-law, but now he hated Su Qinghui. Su Qinghui knew that this matter would not be so easy. He had already made all the preparations. But those preparations did not include divorce. Qianxue. This is my fault. I admit that I was too young and impulsive. You can punish me however you want. But I will never divorce Qianxue. Don't even think about it. I will kick you out of the Li family. Get out of here. Get out of here now. Old Master Li was full of energy. As he spoke, he did not forget to hit the ground with his cane. Compared with Old Master Li's agitation, Li Qianxue was much calmer. She patted her father's hand and turned to face Su Qinghui. If I don't divorce, will I let you continue to torture me? Su Qinghui looked at her and his lips moved. He wanted to say that he did not mean to torture her, but he could not say that. Li Qianxue sneered, and her voice was as cold as the 12th moon. Su Qinghui, for so many years, you have used my love to torture and humiliate me. I have endured it because I love you. But now I don't want to endure it anymore. Let me tell you, I want a divorce. Su Qinghui looked anxious. He stood up and wanted to pull Li Qianxue's hand. Qianxue, I don't want a divorce. I can promise you anything else. Go away. Get out of here. I don't want to see you. Li Qianxue waved his hand away. Although Old Master Li was old, Su Qinghui had been hit twice on the shoulder. Although Old Master Li was old, he had been training hard, and the strength of his hand was not light at all. Now that Li Qianxue waved his hand, he took 2 steps back. The movement was too big, and his shoulder was in pain. But now he couldn't care less. Qianxue. Su Qinghui. Li Qianxue looked at him as if she understood his concerns. Don't worry. Although you are heartless to me, I will not be unjust to you. All these years, you have also contributed to the Su family. I won't really let you leave with nothing. You can go to a lawyer now and write down the terms of the divorce. As long as it wasn't too much. I'll agree. Qianxue, that's not what I meant. I don't care what you mean. I don't care. I don't want to know. I want you to leave this place right now. Leave the Li family. Qianxue. Su Qinghui was really anxious. He could give up money, the Li Corporation, and everything related to the Li Corporation. But he couldn't get a divorce. He absolutely couldn't. Get out. Su Qinghui, let me tell you, I don't want to see you. Now, in the future, I never want to see you again. Qianxue, I was wrong. It's all my fault. I beg you, give me another chance, okay? Get lost. You want me to give you another chance after what you've done? You can forget about it. Li Qianxue didn't want to talk to him anymore and chased him away again. Because of her determined attitude, Su Qinghui couldn't help but look at Old Master Li and Su Yusin. Old Master Li didn't pay any attention to him. Su Yusin looked at the series of changes that happened today. It wasn't that he didn't sympathize with Su Qinghui. Looking at him like this, especially when he was beaten just now, he even felt that Su Qinghui was very pitiful now. But there must be something hateful about a pitiful person. Meeting Su Qinghui's gaze, he just turned his head away and didn't look at him. No matter how bad Su Qinghui was, he was still his biological father. He really couldn't bear to see him like this. The sound of a car came from outside the door. Li Qianxue originally wanted to chase Su Qinghui away, but now she couldn't help it. She was in a hurry to rush to the door. She didn't even notice that she was standing by the coffee table and almost kicked it. Be careful. Su Yusin reminded her. Li Qianxue stood firm. She looked at Su Yusin and then at Old Master Li. Old Master Li's emotions hadn't calmed down yet, but now he understood that Su Qingsang was back. He was different from Li Qianxue. He had just heard the news and hadn't had time to digest it. At this moment he couldn't wait to see Su Qingsang. Li Qianxue almost rushed out, but she was still worried about Old Master Li, so she held him first. She stood there, not knowing whether to stand or sit. She wanted to go up and greet them, but she couldn't restrain the nervousness in her heart. While she was struggling, Su Qingsang and Hua Jinyao had already come in. Su Qingsang's mood had been very perturbed along the way. From knowing her background to accepting it, she had spent a lot of time to adapt. It wasn't easy for her to adapt. She also decided to let it go. But she just happened to know that Li Qianxue knew about her background. The secret she wanted to hide finally couldn't be hidden anymore. She wasn't ready yet. How could she face Li Qianxue? She only wanted to see her, and now she was about to see her. But when she really stood at the door, she felt shy. She sat in the car and didn't even dare to get out for a moment. It was Hua Jinyao who pulled her out of the car. After getting out of the car, she walked very fast at one moment and very slowly at another. No matter how big the Su family's garden was, it was only a few minutes' walk. Soon she reached the door. Go in. While she was hesitating, Hua Jinyao gently pushed her into the door. Su Qingsang didn't even have time to hesitate before she saw Li Qianxue. She had seen her too many times in the past 20 years. However, she had never thought that Li Qianxue was her mother. She didn't even dare to think about it. Her biological mother. This realization made her stand there and not dare to move. She just stared at Li Qianxue blankly. Li Qianxue didn't move either. She looked at Su Qingsang and thought that this was her daughter. She hadn't accompanied or taken care of her daughter for a day. Her emotions, which had always been calm, suddenly lost control. Her eyes were blurred by tears. She stood there, and her footsteps were heavy. Su Qingsang saw her eyes turn red, and her eyes turned red as well. She stood at the door, timid, her eyes expectant and yearning. She wanted to be close, but she wasn't used to it. That expression pierced Li Qianxue's heart. She rushed over and held Su Qingsang in her arms. I'm sorry, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Su Qingsang's eyes became wet. She was hugged by Li Qianxue and didn't dare to move at all. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. How could she fall asleep? How could she not take a look at her child at the first moment? How could she let Su Qinghui take Su Qingsang away? For more than 20 years, her child was by her side, but she didn't know her. The heartache that she had suppressed just now came back again. Li Qianxue only felt that her heart was about to break. I'm so sorry. But Su Qingsang finally had a reaction. She shook her head gently in Li Qianxue's arms and said, No. No, you're not sorry. Even though she wasn't close to the Su family, she had to admit that Li Qianxue didn't make things difficult for her. Qingsang. Hearing her words, Li Qianxue was even sadder. Qingsang, you're my daughter. You're actually my daughter. I didn't know. I didn't know at all. It's been so many years. She stepped back a little and held Su Qingsang's face with both hands. For so many years, you've been by my side. I watched you grow up, but I didn't know that you were my daughter. I'm really confused. Su Qingsang also wanted to cry because of him. She shook her head hard, and her tears fell uncontrollably. I don't blame you. I really don't blame you. It wasn't her fault. It was Su Qinghui's fault. Su Yusin and Old Master Li were behind them. They watched the mother and daughter hug each other and cry. No one said a word. Su Qinghui stood there and stared blankly at the mother and daughter reuniting in front of him. He had been conflicted and in pain, but at this moment he let out a long sigh of relief. Finally, everything returned to the original track. Finally, everything went back to square one. But was it really back to square one? He knew very well that some things had changed a long time ago. It wouldn't change just because Su Qingsang recognized Li Qianxue. For example, he lost Li Qianxue. He lost her last tolerance and tolerance for him. And her love? He only had Li Qinshue's hatred now. Once this realization came to him, Su Qinghui almost couldn't stand. His expression became more and more confused. But why did things turn out like this? Hua Jinyao looked at Su Qingsang's tears. He rarely saw her cry. The tears that flowed down her cheeks were as hot oil. Unexpectedly, he didn't stop Su Qingsang and Li Qianxue from reuniting. This was her identity, this was her family. You really don't blame me? Li Qianxue looked at Su Qingsang's face. Her face was full of disbelief. You should blame me. You should blame me. Su Qingsang had too many reasons to blame her. Any one of them could be a reason for her to blame herself. No, I really don't blame you. Really? Su Qingsang wiped the tears on her face. Seeing Li Qianxue like this, she couldn't bear to see her like this. Unlike the sympathy and gratitude she felt for Xiang Kaiping, she had a desire to be close to Li Qianxue from the bottom of her heart. She had this feeling for many years. However, at that time, she was still young. Because of the situation at that time, she suppressed this desire again and again. Now, she didn't have to suppress that desire. She could be close to her without any scruples. Li Qianxue looked at her with a pained expression. Qingsang, if you really don't blame me, can you call me Mom? There were still tears in her eyes. She looked at Su Qingsang expectantly and nervously. Su Qingsang's heart ached a little because of her reaction. She raised her hand to wipe her tears. Her movements were very gentle. Her nose was sore and her eyes were dry. A lot of emotions sniffled and said softly, Mommy. Li Qianxue cried again. Call me again. Chapter 437. Mom. Su Qingsang seemed to know what Li Qianxue was thinking and called her again. Yes. Li Qianxue hugged Su Qingsang again. My daughter. My daughter. Li Qianxue hugged her tightly. She changed very tightly, but her slender body had great strength at this time. Su Qingsang was almost out of breath in her arms, but she didn't push her away. She didn't even have the thought of pushing her away. Her hands were hanging by her side. Her fingertips moved and then dropped again. However, when Li Qianxue tightened her arms again, she raised them again and gently wrapped them around Li Qianshue's waist. Everyone was looking at Li Qianxue. Only Hua Jinyao noticed her movements. His heart trembled. He took a step in the direction of Su Qingsang and Su Qingsang, but then stopped. Qingsang. Li Qianxue was so uncomfortable that she couldn't say a word now. She could only hug Su Qingsang tightly. She had never taken care of or accompanied her daughter for more than 20 years. Su Qingsang was really out of breath in her arms. When she saw the hidden tears in Su Yusin and old Master Li's eyes, she finally calmed down a little. She gently patted Li Qianshue's back. Calm down. Li Qianxue shook her head. It was too painful. It was really too painful. What could be more heartbreaking than her own daughter being by her side, but she didn't know it at all. Su Qingsang thought for a moment and raised her voice a little. I can't breathe. Hearing this, Li Qianxue finally relaxed a little. However, she refused to let her go. Instead, she held her hand tightly. I'm sorry, Mom. I didn't mean to. I'm fine. Su Qingsang looked at Li Qianxue crying like this and felt very sad. If possible, she didn't want to see Li Qianxue like this at all. She raised her hand and gently wiped Li Qianshue's tears. Mom, don't always say sorry. You didn't let me down. Li Qianxue shook her head. She wanted to say that she had let Su Qingsang down for many things. It couldn't be said in a few words. However, Su Qingsang didn't give her a chance. She wiped the tears that had flowed out again very gently. Really? You didn't do me wrong. You know that I've been living a good life. It would have been better if she hadn't said that. Now that she said it, it was like stabbing Li Qianshue's heart with a knife. How can it be good? How was it good? You're my daughter. But I haven't taken care of you for a single day. When Li Qianxue said that, she almost cried again. Su Qingsang was scalded by her tears. Mom, please don't do this. If you act like this, we won't be able to talk properly. Seeing that Li Qianxue was still in a daze, she looked at old Master Li and the others. Li Qianxue finally came to her senses. She hastily wiped the tears off her face and looked at Su Qingsang. Look at me. Mom is really confused. Li Qianxue held Su Qingsang's hand and walked to old Master Li. She couldn't hide the sobs in her voice. This is Qingsang. Qingsang is your granddaughter. Li Qianxue couldn't go on. Su Qingsang hurriedly said, Grandpa. She called him very softly. She had always called old Master Li Old Master since she was a child. Grandpa belonged to Su Yusin and Su Peijian. Old Master Li's eyes were also wet. He reached out to touch Su Qingsang's cheek, but then lowered his hand. It's good that you're back. It's good that you're back. Yusin. Su Qingsang looked at Su Yusin, although she didn't know how Li Qianxue knew. But she also guessed that it probably had something to do with Su Yusin. Sister. Su Yusin looked at her and took a step forward. Now you are really my sister. My biological sister. Yes. Su Qingsang also wanted to cry. But she held it back. On this side, the family was reunited, and it was harmonious. On the other side, Su Qinghui seemed to be forgotten. He stood aside in a daze, and no one paid attention to him. Hua Jinyao watched Su Qingsang acknowledge Li Qianxue and old Master Li. He let out a long sigh of relief. In fact, it didn't matter to him whether Su Qingsang acknowledged Li Qianxue or not. But he knew that it was different for Su Qingsang. If she didn't know about her past, if she was really just Xiang Caiping's daughter, perhaps she could always be like this and pretend that she didn't know anything. She could be filial to Xiang Caiping like an ordinary daughter. She could peacefully follow Xiang Caiping and keep the mother-daughter relationship for the rest of her life. But Su Qingsang knew. If she didn't acknowledge Li Qianxue, on the surface, she might be able to pretend that she didn't care about anything. She could convince herself not to acknowledge Li Qianxue, but in the end, there would still be regrets. It was good that things were like this. Li Qianxue calmed down and kept holding Su Qingsang's hand. Only then did Su Qingsang realize that something seemed to be wrong. She lowered her head and saw the marks on Li Qianxue's palm. Mom, it's nothing. Li Qianxue was about to take her hand back when Su Yusin said, I thought you went to Rong City on the way here. I was anxious and cut my hand. Don't talk nonsense. Li Qianxue glared at Su Yusin. When she turned to face Su Qingsang, her face was a little cautious. It's nothing. Mom was careless. It has nothing to do with you. Su Qingsang bit her lip and looked at the wound that was no longer bleeding. In her memory, Li Qianxue had always been elegant and calm. It was probably the first time in her life that she had cut her palm like this. Mom, you actually don't have to do this. Rong City is not far from Lin City. I will still come back. You will come back? Su Qingsang nodded. It was originally planned that I would go back with Hua Jinyao for the holiday. Although she would settle down in Rong City in the future, at this time, she really didn't need to tell Li Qianxue the truth. That means, you will still come back to acknowledge me, right? I will come back to see you. Su Qingsang looked at the expectation in her eyes. I will come back to see you, but if you don't know, I won't acknowledge you. I hope you can be happy. People who were ignorant were always happier. After all, they wouldn't know what happened. Because of her words, Li Qianxue wanted to cry again. She held Su Qingsang's hand tightly and refused to let go. I will only be happy if I acknowledge you. Qingsang, promise me, don't go, okay? Stay with me? Su Qingsang's eyes showed a moment of hesitation. She turned her face to look at Hua Jinyao. They had clearly come to an agreement. They were going back to Rong City together. She didn't go back with him because of Xiang Caiping. Now, something like this had happened. Hua Jinyao was different from her. As the eldest grandson of the Hua family, he had his responsibilities on his shoulders. If she didn't go back with him, she was afraid. Mom, I'm afraid I can't, Su Qingsang said with difficulty. I promised Hua Jinyao that I would go back with him for the holiday. We didn't go back during the Spring Festival. Now I won't go back during the Lantern Festival. This can't be explained. She had never been a willful person. Naturally, she wanted to take care of everyone. You still want to go? Li Qianxue was anxious. I just acknowledged you. I haven't talked to you properly. It doesn't matter. The first person to speak was Hu Jinyao. Qingsang, since your mother wants you to stay, you can stay. Just stay with her for a while. But I'll go back to Rong City by myself tomorrow. Hu Jinyao winked at her. Don't worry, I'll arrange everything. Su Qingsang understood what he meant almost instantly. He said that he would arrange everything, which naturally included Xiang Kaiping. How could she forget Xiang Kaiping? Hu Jinyao. Su Qingsang looked anxious. Just like she didn't want to hurt Li Qianxue, she didn't want to hurt Xiang Kaiping either. She knew that she shouldn't do this, but Li Qianxue was innocent. Wasn't Xiang Kaiping innocent too? Don't think about it. Hu Jinyao took a few steps forward and stood beside her. He gently placed his hands on her shoulders. Grandpa is a very open-minded person. He will understand you. He increased the strength of his hands and gave her a look. There was a meaning that only Su Qingsang understood. Su Qingsang's lips moved. But your mother, my mother will understand too. Hu Jinyao looked into her eyes as he spoke. Even if her health hasn't been good recently, an obstetrician like you can't help. Why don't I ask someone to see her? But you can relax and stay with Mom for a few days. As for my mother, I will naturally ask someone to take good care of her. If she asks, I will tell her that you went to the exchange program. Okay? Hu Jinyao thought of everything. Su Qingsang couldn't find the words to say. Then I'll leave tomorrow. The day after tomorrow, I can spend the holiday with Grandpa and the others. As for you, you should stay here for a few days. Su Qingsang's lips were pressed into a straight line. Li Qianxue grabbed her hand at the right time. Look, Hu Jinyao also agreed. Don't go yet? Okay. Su Qingsang didn't object in the end. In fact, deep down she also wanted to stay. Old Master Li and Su Yusin breathed a sigh of relief at the same time. They had just recognized Su Qingsang. If she left immediately, it would really be. It was good that Su Qingsang didn't leave. It was good that she didn't leave. Su Yusin also breathed a sigh of relief. He was going to school a long time ago. However, because of Su Qingsang, he hadn't reported to school until now. Li Qianxue only felt that she had 1,000 things to say to Su Qingsang, but when it really came to this, she couldn't say a word. Fortunately, Su Qingsang didn't know what to say either. The mother and daughter had almost no communication for so many years, and they couldn't even find a topic for a while. But there was no need to say anything. For Li Qianxue, as long as she saw Su Qingsang by her side, she would be very happy. Soon, it was evening after this afternoon's commotion. A servant came to say that dinner was ready. There was such a big commotion in the main room just now. But dinner still had to be eaten. Chapter 438. The more Li Qianxue felt guilty and blamed herself for Su Qingsang, the more she hated Su Qinghui. Why are you still here? Get out. You're not welcome in this house now. Su Qinghui stood there without moving. Just now, Su Qingsang and Li Qianxue only cared about getting together. Both Old Master Li and Su Yusin were paying attention to Su Qingsang. No one was paying attention to him. Now that he was reprimanded by Li Qianxue, everyone looked at him. Needless to say, Old Master Li's eyes were full of hatred, just like Li Qianxue's. Although Su Yusin couldn't bear it, he also felt that Su Qinghui had gone too far. He didn't want to talk to him for the time being. Hu Jinyao had been focusing on Su Qingsang, so he couldn't feel any sympathy for Su Qinghui. Su Qingsang finally saw Su Qinghui. In fact, she had been hugged by Li Qianxue as soon as she entered the door. After that, she had no chance to pay attention to her surroundings at all. Now that she saw Su Qinghui, she suddenly felt a little sorry for him. He didn't look like the general manager of Li Group at all. His face was still swollen from Li Qianxue's slap. Old Master Li hit him on the shoulder twice. Although it couldn't be seen, the erection on his shoulders made his shoulders droop. He exuded a dispirited aura. If Li Qianxue had seen Su Qinghui like this in the past, she would have rushed over to him. Right now, her emotions did not fluctuate. There was only indifference, and hatred in her eyes. Get out. Li Qianxue hated Su Qinghui to the core. You're not welcome here. Get lost. Su Qinghui looked at Li Qianxue. In his impression, even when she was angry, she was still arrogant. No matter how much she hated him, she couldn't hide the love in her eyes. But now, in her eyes, he could not find the slightest bit of love, only hatred. She hated him. This realization made Su Qinghui very sad. His lips moved and he looked at Li Qianxue. He had a lot to say, but at this moment he couldn't say a word. Qianxue. Get out. Li Qianxue pointed at the door. Su Qinghui, if you don't want to lose face, get out yourself. Otherwise, I will have to call the police. The determined look on her face told Su Qinghui that she was telling the truth. If he didn't leave, she might call the police. Su Qinghui closed his eyes. Once upon a time, they were a famous model couple in the business circle, but now, they could only hate each other. Qianxue. He couldn't divorce her. I told you to get lost. Li Qianxue couldn't hide her agitation. She pointed at the door with hatred. Looking at Su Qinghui's face, Su Qingsang felt sorry for him. She didn't know what else to say to Su Qinghui. I'm hungry. As a bystander, she couldn't forgive Su Qinghui either. His actions had hurt two women. However, Su Qingsang felt that she couldn't just watch Li Qianxue embarrass him again and again in front of his children. He could only change the topic so that Li Qianxue would stop scolding Su Qinghui. Are you hungry? Let's hurry up and eat. As expected, Li Qianxue's attention was immediately diverted. He didn't even look at Su Qinghui. Old Master Li looked at her a few more times because of what she had done. Although this granddaughter of his had never been raised by Li Qianxue, she had a good nature. At a time like this, she could still think of Su Qinghui and use such a method to help him out. Huo Jinyao didn't miss Old Master Li's gaze. He looked at Su Qingsang with a more gentle gaze. Other people didn't know, but he knew it the best. His Qingsang was the kindest. Even though Su Qinghui had done many things to Su Qingsang, she couldn't ignore Su Qinghui's current situation. Let's go. Li Qianxue held Su Qingsang's hand and refused to let go. She led her to the dining room. Looking at the dishes on the table, she found that the servants in the kitchen had made their favorite dishes. Her face suddenly turned cold. Why didn't you make some of Mrs. favorite dishes? The servants and the chef looked at each other. There was such a big commotion in the living room, and they couldn't go over to watch. They didn't know what had happened. Hearing Li Qianxue say that out of the blue, they were a little confused. Isn't Miss in the United States? A very low voice sounded. Li Qianxue almost lost her temper again. Su Qingsang quickly pulled her back. Don't be like this. You'll scare people. They don't know. After Li Qianxue lost her temper, she realized that she seemed to have done something wrong. She shouldn't have asked. She turned her face to look at Su Qingsang. You, what do you usually like to eat? Only now did she realize that she didn't even know what Su Qingsang liked to eat. This made her voice sound even more guilty and remorseful. Mom, it's okay. You really don't have to do this. She said it casually, but Li Qianxue only felt sad. Her daughter was supposed to be pampered and brought up. But now, she was like a weed. She felt more and more guilty and pulled Su Qingsang to sit next to her. Qingsang, what do you like to eat? Just tell me. I'll ask them to make it for you next time. At this time, Su Qingsang didn't want to disappoint her, so she nodded faintly and didn't object. Old Master Li and Su Yusen both sat down. Su Qinghui didn't follow in. He was smart. If he really dared to come in, Li Qianxue could guarantee that she would definitely drive him out. Huo Jinyao sat next to Su Qingsang and watched Li Qianxue put food into Su Qingsang's bowl. It wasn't just her. Old Master Li and Su Yusen actually had a lot to say. However, they all knew that Li Qianxue was excited at this time. Compared to her, they were restrained. It wasn't the first time Su Qingsang had eaten with Li Qianxue and the others, but it was the first time she participated as Li Qianxue's daughter. This feeling was very subtle. After a while, her bowl was piled up with food that she couldn't finish. Li Qianxue really wanted to make up for it. She couldn't wait to make up for the blank time in the past between the two of them, even though she knew that such a gap couldn't be made up for in 1 or 2 days. Su Qingsang could understand her feelings, so even though she felt that Li Qianshue's enthusiasm was a little overwhelming, she still smiled and accepted her goodwill. Su Qingsang couldn't eat anymore after she was 70% full, mainly because Old Master Li and Li Qianshue were too exaggerated. Su Qingsang really couldn't stand their enthusiasm. "I'm really full." She looked at Hu Jinyao for help. Hu Jinyao was about to help her out when her phone rang at this time. She was stunned for a moment. When she met several pairs of eyes that were looking at her, she took out her phone with great discomfort. Chapter 439. When Hu Jinyao took Su Qingsang away, he only said that he was going to ask when they could fly. But now it was time for dinner, but they were still here and hadn't gone back. Xiang Kaiping waited in Hu Jinyao's villa for a long time, but they didn't come back. She was a little worried. Looking at the number on the phone, Su Qingsang was stunned for a moment. She suddenly felt a little conflicted. At this time, she subconsciously looked at Hu Jinyao. Li Qianshue was sitting next to her and saw the name on the phone at a glance. It was a very simple word. Only one word, Mom. Li Qianshue's heart skipped a beat. She seemed to have just remembered that Su Qingsang had regarded Xiang Kaiping as her mother. Her hand trembled a little, and she almost couldn't control herself from grabbing Su Qingsang's phone. Su Qingsang was very embarrassed. She also knew that Li Qianshue had seen it. But the phone kept ringing. Looking at Old Master Li and Su Yusen, she had to answer the phone. Li Qianshue was next to her. She really didn't have the courage to call her mother. Hu Jinyao glanced at her and took her phone from her palm. He glanced at the others, stood up, and walked to the side to answer the phone. Su Qingsang felt as if a stone in her heart had been lifted at this moment. She let out a long sigh of relief. When she turned her head, she met Li Qianshue's eyes full of pain. Her heart trembled, and she could hardly keep her face calm anymore. The inexplicable feeling of guilt made it impossible for her to meet Li Qianshue's gaze. On the other end, Hu Jinyao glanced over and listened to Xiang Caiping's concerned voice on the other side of the phone. "Qingsang, why haven't you come back for dinner yet?" Xiang Kaiping had been accompanied by her daughter and son-in-law. Suddenly, he had to eat dinner alone. It was really lonely. "We have something to do here. You eat first. We'll come back when we're done. Then drive carefully. Be careful when you come back at night. It's still cold. Don't catch a cold." "Okay." Hu Jinyao said a few more words in a very soft voice. He hung up. He returned to his seat and returned the phone to Su Qingsang. Li Qianshue watched Su Qingsang take the phone. The phone had been hung up, but she was still sitting there in a daze. Su Qingsang was a little embarrassed, especially when 3 pairs of eyes were staring at her. It didn't feel good at all. She wanted to say something, but words were too weak at this time. Li Qianshue's body was very stiff. She sat there and kept staring at Su Qingsang. Su Qingsang felt very uncomfortable under Li Qianshue's stare. She almost wanted to get up and slip away, but Li Qianshue suddenly stood up and pulled her up. "Let's go. Follow me." "Mom." "Let's go. Let's go talk to her." Su Qingsang paused for a moment, then understood what Li Qianshue meant. She subconsciously wanted to pull her hand out. Li Qianshue suddenly turned around and looked at her. "You called her mother?" Su Qingsang's lips moved, but she had nothing to say. Did you call her mom?" Su Qingsang couldn't answer. If Xiang Kaiping was really a bad person or a real mistress, she could happily accept Li Qianshue. Li Qianshue was innocent, and so was Xiang Kaiping. "You didn't call her mom?" Li Qianshue was obsessed with this point and stubbornly wanted an answer. Su Qingsang couldn't answer, but Su Yusen couldn't stand it anymore. He stepped forward and stood in front of Li Qianshue. "Mom, what are you doing?" Sister didn't know before. But she knows now. She knows now. Li Qianshue closed her eyes. It couldn't be like this. It couldn't be like this. She suddenly turned around and looked at Su Qingsang. "You didn't tell her, did you? You didn't plan to tell her at all, did you?" Su Qingsang didn't know what to say. She wanted to admit that Li Qianshue's heart was true. She didn't want to hurt Xiang Caiping's heart, and that was also true. At this moment, she seemed to understand Su Chenghui's feelings a little. She was in a dilemma. You didn't tell her? You want to be her daughter? You still want to be her daughter, don't you? Don't you? Li Qianxue almost broke down. She couldn't accept this fact. How could this be? Her daughter, she has always ignored, always ignored. She finally wanted to be with her daughter. But she had already decided to have another mother. Then why did you come back? Why did you come back? Li Qianxue felt hurt. She put her hand over her heart and felt terrible. Why did you come back? Why did you come back? Su Qingsang took a step forward and wanted to say something. But it seemed that it was not appropriate to say anything at this time. Old Master Li looked at the chaos in front of him. His body swayed, but he managed to stabilize himself. Su Yusen wanted to say something, but he didn't know where to start. Li Qianxue was still sad. Su Qingsang looked helpless. At this moment, Hu Jinyao suddenly took a step forward. He stood next to Su Qingsang and put his hands on her shoulders. Mrs. Su, are you blaming Qingsang now? As soon as he spoke, everyone's eyes fell on him. Hearing Hu Jinyao call her Mrs. Su, Li Qianxue only felt uncomfortable. I am her mother. I am. That's because you don't know how they met. You don't know how good Xiang Caiping is to Qingsang. These people in front of her were all insiders. But Hu Jinyao was not. He wrapped Su Qingsang's body in his arms, using this posture to declare his attitude. Su Qingsang felt the heat from his body, and her heart seemed to calm down a lot. Hu Jinyao patted her shoulder and looked at Li Qianxue. Xiang Caiping met Qingsang for the first time in Rong City. Hu Jinyao's words were very simple, and he explained the situation in a few words. When Su Qingsang was in Rong City, she was on the news. Later, Xiang Caiping saw her on TV and found that she looked very similar to Su Chenghui. After knowing that her name was Qingsang, she decided to come to find her. I have investigated everything about Xiang Caiping. I know that she gave birth to a child the day after Christmas that year. I also know that the child was later taken away by Su Chenghui. Qingsang wanted to do a paternity test. But Su Chenghui came to find her. With him, we are more certain. Mrs. Su, when you are blaming Qingsang, I also want to tell you something. What Ms. Xiang Caiping has done for Qingsang. More than 20 years ago, Xiang Caiping did abandon her daughter. However, when he thought that Su Qingsang was his daughter, everything he did was motherly. The sweater that Qingsang is wearing now was knitted by her. She got into an argument with Su Peijian to buy a gift for Qingsang and was almost hit by a car. Xiang Caiping is still in a wheelchair. Hu Jinyao looked at Li Qianshue's calm expression, and his voice softened a little. Before the new year, Qingsang knew that she was not Xiang Caiping's child. Qingsang was type AB, but Xiang Caiping was type O. Qingsang knew, but because she did not want to hurt Xiang Caiping, she chose to keep her mouth shut. At that time, Qingsang also wanted to question Su Chenghui, but he refused to say. Later, when she found out that her mother was you, she wanted to come to the Su family to see you immediately. But you went to the United States. You heard it clearly. She wanted to see you immediately, but you were not there. She wanted to see you on an impulse. You were not in Lin City, but you gave her time to calm down. You are innocent. What about Xiang Caiping? You flew to the United States for Xiang Caiping's daughter, afraid that she would be lonely in a foreign land. But have you ever thought about it? For the past 20 years, Qingsang has been alone. Who has ever pitied her when she was lonely? Hu Jinyao's voice was not accusatory. He was just calmly pointing out the truth. But such a truth was even harder to accept than accusation. Li Qianshue's body went limp, and she could barely stand. She collapsed on the dining chair. Only Xiang Caiping. It was because of her that Qingsang had motherly love. Xiang Caiping did not know that Qingsang was not her child, and she treated Qingsang with sincerity. If Qingsang could not wait to meet you as soon as she knew who she was, completely disregarding Xiang Caiping's feelings. Would you want a daughter like that? Would you want to meet her? Li Qianshue's face was pale, and she could not say a word. Not only her, But Su Yusin and Old Master Li also lowered their heads. Su Qingsang was the legitimate daughter of the Su family. It would only be good for her to meet them. There was no harm. But even under such circumstances, Su Qingsang did not want to meet them immediately. She had concerns in her heart. Such concerns were for someone who was actually unrelated to her, but had given her motherly love. Mrs. Su, please forgive me for not being very nice right now. But I still want to say that you are unhappy because Qingsang called Xiang Kaiping mom for a few months. Then for the past 20 years, Su Peixian has always called you mom. Putting yourself in her shoes, isn't Qingsang more qualified than you to be unhappy? Li Qianxue could not say a word. She just sat there in a daze. Su Yusin stood next to her. Looking at his mother like this, he could not comfort her even if he wanted to. Su Qingsang could not help but glare at Hua Jinyao. She knew that he was eloquent. But wasn't it too much to say that to Li Qianxue? Hua Jinyao raised his eyebrows. He did not do it on purpose. If he had to blame someone, he could only blame Su Qinghui. Li Qianxue suddenly leaned on the table and cried herself hoarse. Her heartache, which had already eased, came out uncontrollably again. Su Qingsang's nose began to sting again. She took a few steps forward and squatted down beside Li Qianxue. She reached out and gently held her hand on her knee. Don't cry. These things. It's not your fault. I have never blamed you. Her eyes were exceptionally clear. Chapter 440. She's really nice to me. For the past few months, she has been accompanying me and taking care of me. So, can you not be angry? If possible, Su Qingsang really didn't want to hurt Xiang Kaiping. Don't worry. I will definitely make it clear to her. But really, please give me some time. Li Qianxue stopped crying. She did not move from her position on the table. Seeing this, Su Qingsang's emotions were quite complicated. If only she had known about her past a little earlier. Then she wouldn't have so many concerns. Mom. Su Yusin stepped forward and patted Li Qianxue's shoulder. Just listen to your sister. Old Master Li, who had been silent the whole time, let out a long sigh. Qianxue, Qingsang didn't do anything wrong this time. You should calm down too. If they were in each other's shoes, Su Qingsang had only called Xiang Kaiping mom for a few months, and Li Qianxue couldn't stand it. Su Peixian had been calling Li Qianxue mother for more than 20 years. What would Xiang Kaiping do? Li Qianxue knew all of this. But knowing was one thing, and accepting was another. She looked up at Su Qingsang with tears in her eyes. You are not wrong. I'm the one at fault. It was always me. If she hadn't forced a relationship that didn't belong to her, if she hadn't seen through Su Qinghui's viciousness, she wouldn't have been separated from her daughter for so many years. Mom. Su Qingsang didn't like the atmosphere. She hugged Li Qianxue and gently patted her back. Don't say any more. You're not wrong either. None of us did anything wrong. That was right. None of them had done anything wrong. Su Qinghui had always been in the wrong. Su Qinghui hadn't left. He stood in the living room, not knowing where else he could go or what else he could do. This was his home. Even if he didn't like it in the beginning, no matter how much he didn't accept it. After more than 20 years, he had gotten used to this family. If Li Qianxue wanted to drive him away, he had a place to go. He just didn't want to leave. It wasn't until he heard the commotion coming from the dining room that he slowly and steadily walked into the dining room like an old man. He didn't go in. He stood at the door and listened to Hua Jinyao and Li Qianxue's conversation. Su Qingsang said that Li Qianxue was not in the wrong. Then it could only be him. Su Qinghui looked as if he had suffered a great blow. Without hesitation, he left the place. He walked quickly. It was as if someone was chasing after him. Except for Hua Jinyao, almost no one noticed that Su Qinghui had appeared and disappeared at the door of the restaurant. Hua Jinyao narrowed his eyes as he watched Su Qinghui leave. Li Qianxue's emotions finally calmed down. She held Su Qingsang's hand and followed her out of the restaurant. The mother and daughter sat down on the sofa. Li Qianxue had a lot to ask Su Qingsang and a lot to tell her. Su Qingsang knew that she was agitated and couldn't be calmed down in a short time. He wanted to change the topic, but he felt that the current mood was not suitable. She pulled out a tissue from the side and wiped Li Qianshue's tears. Look at you. His eyes were red. Don't cry next time. All right. I won't cry. Li Qianxue wanted to cry again because of her words. However, he did his best to restrain himself. She held Su Qingsang's hand and looked at her daughter. How careless was she? Although Su Qingsang looked like Su Qinghui, the shape of her face was clearly the same as hers. She looked like Su Yusun. She actually didn't think in that direction even once. She was really a careless mother. Old Master Li looked at the mother and daughter in front of him and glanced at Hu Jinyao out of the corner of his eye. Speaking of which, he had some regrets before. Hu Jinyao was such an outstanding young man, but he didn't marry his own granddaughter. Now that regret was gone. Hu Jinyao married Su Qingsang, but Su Qingsang was his own granddaughter. Old Master Li was not in a hurry to talk to Su Qingsang, but he did have something to say to Hu Jinyao. Jinyao, I heard that you were going back to Rong City? Yes. Hu Jinyao nodded. Qingsang and I have been married for so long, but we haven't been there yet. The headquarters of Tianyu Group was originally in Rong City. But now, I'm afraid Qianxue won't be willing to let Qingsang go. It wasn't easy for them to reconcile. Judging from Li Qianshue's current attitude, there was no way she would let Su Qingsang go to Rong City. Li Qianxue seemed to confirm Old Master Li's words. She grabbed Su Qingsang's hand tightly and said, I won't allow you to go. Even if it's convenient for me to fly to Rong City. But that was someone else's house. I don't want you to go. Su Qingsang felt a little awkward. He turned to look at Hu Jinyao. Mom, what do you think? Hu Jinyao followed Su Qingsang's advice and called her mother. I'll go back to Rong City for the next few days to take care of some things. As for Qings, he would stay at home for the time being. Anyway, she just quit her job in the hospital, so it's fine if she doesn't go. That's good. He happened to be at home with me. Su Qingsang looked at Li Qianxue. At this time, she couldn't say no. She couldn't help but look at Hu Jinyao. She found that she seemed to be used to this action. When she didn't know what to do, Hu Jinyao could always give her strength and calm her down. Qingsang, you can stay here today. Then, I'll go home later. Hu Jinyao knew very well that Li Qianxue wouldn't let Su Qingsang go back today. But Xiang Kaiping was still waiting. She wasn't stupid. Why didn't Su Qingsang go back? Li Qianshue's lips moved. She wanted to say that she didn't need to worry about Xiang Kaiping, but she couldn't say it. In order to divert her attention, Su Qingsang changed the topic. Oh right, Mom, how did you know about this? She did a paternity test and Su Qinghui admitted it himself. But Su Qinghui would never tell Li Qianxue. Yusun told me. Thinking of this, Li Qianxue still felt a lingering fear. If Su Yusun hadn't heard the conversation between Hu Jinyao and Su Qinghui, Su Qingsang didn't want to acknowledge her. When they went to Rong City, he would never know that Su Qingsang was actually his daughter for the rest of his life. She didn't even dare to think about it now. How did Yusun know? Su Qingsang was really curious. Su Yusun didn't hide it. He glanced at Hu Jinyao and told him how he knew about this. Su Qingsang didn't say anything else. Looking at it this way, everything. It was really God's will. She didn't want to acknowledge Li Qianxue, but she still found out. Qingsang, you're back with me now. I don't care what you thought before. I really won't let you leave me again. Li Qianxue felt very insecure now. She needed some assurance, some certainty. Su Qingsang nodded gently. Mom, don't worry. I won't leave you. Even if she went to Rong City, she could come back to see her often. Hearing her promise, Li Qianshue's expression relaxed a little. For a moment, she was a little touched and reached out to hug Su Qingsang tightly. Hu Jinyao didn't stay for long. He played a game of chess with Old Master Li. He got up and said goodbye. Su Qingsang took the opportunity to send him off and followed him out. Hu Jinyao. Su Qingsang didn't regret acknowledging Li Qianxue. Especially when she saw Li Qianxue like that, she couldn't bear it. However, she still felt uneasy. In fact, if she talked to Xiang Kaiping nicely, it probably wouldn't be a big problem. But just now, everyone had forgotten that there was another person involved in this incident. Su Peijian. Hua Jinyao. As Su Qingsang spoke, she wrapped her arms around Hua Jinyao's waist. Tell me, am I wrong? If she hadn't been persistent in seeking an answer, if she hadn't secretly gone to do a paternity test, Li Qianxue wouldn't have known until now. You're not wrong. Don't think too much. But, I already said you're not wrong. Don't think about it. How could she not think about it? Su Qingsang looked at Hua Jinyao and then at the door behind them. She lowered her head and said softly, "There's something I didn't mention just now, but it doesn't mean that it didn't happen." What? Su Peijian. Su Qingsang's expression was very complicated. Embark. What about Su Peijian? Hua Jinyao frowned. She's not under your control, right? It's not a matter of whether I care or not. Su Qingsang sighed in her heart. I've only been with Auntie for a few months, and we already have such a deep relationship. Su Peijian has been with my mother for more than 20 years. Their relationship must be deeper than ours. You don't like her? You don't want to see her? After all, Su Qingsang and Su Peijian didn't get along. Su Qingsang looked at Hua Jinyao. I'm not the kind of person who can't tolerate others. I'm also not the kind of person who has a chicken belly. But Su Peijian is different from me. I'm afraid that when the time comes, she won't be able to accept this fact. She broke my mother's heart. Li Qianxue was so angry now. She even kicked Su Qinghui out. When that time came, she was afraid that she would vent her anger on her. Although Su Peijian had a spoiled personality, in this matter, she was considered innocent. If Li Qianxue really vented her anger on her, Xiang Jingqing suddenly flicked her forehead. He looked at her with a helpless look in his eyes. All right, don't think about it. These things are not your business, and it's not something you should worry about. According to what I said, let your mother worry about these things. It's really not your turn to think about these things. But, even if Su Peijian doesn't accept it, she will make trouble for you. Don't you still have me? Hua Jinyao pinched her cheek. I won't watch my wife be bullied. Moreover, it wasn't easy for Li Qianxue to recognize Su Qingsang. How could she allow others to bully her? Even if that person was Su Peijian. What are you thinking? I'm not worried about her bullying me. I'm worried about my mother. Li Qianxue and Su Peijian had been mother and daughter for more than 20 years. Would she really not fall out with Su Peijian because she knew the reason? Chapter 441. That's enough. You don't have to worry about her. As for making your mother happy, it's a very simple thing. You stay and accompany her. She'll be very happy. Hua Jinyao's words made Su Qingsang fall silent. That was the reason, but she still couldn't accept it in her heart. Hua Jinyao. She suddenly took a step closer to him and reached out to hold his hand. Do you think Grandpa won't be unhappy if I don't go back with you? Old Master Hua was a very good person. Su Qingsang didn't want to make him unhappy. Of course not. Don't worry. I'm here. He would definitely be unhappy. After getting married, not only did he not bring her back for the new year, but now he didn't even go back for the festival. Moreover, they had agreed on it before. Now, Lu Tongjia and Hua Mingguang would probably be unhappy. Su Qingsang couldn't completely relax, but Hua Jinyao's repeated promises made her less worried. Hua Jinyao looked at her and couldn't help but rub the top of her head again. You're still a doctor. You're so worried. All right. I'm here for everything. Su Qingsang nodded heavily. Well, remember to tell her when you go back. They all knew who she was. Hua Jinyao resisted the urge to flick her again. Can you not worry about these things? Su Qingsang didn't say anything. She just thought a little too much. Don't worry. I'll leave the story for you to tell. Today, I'll say that there's a problem with a patient in the hospital. I need you to keep an eye on him. Is that okay? Su Qingsang wasn't sure if Xiang Kaiping would believe her. However, this excuse was the best way to go about it. Thank you. Hua Jinyao. Hua Jinyao leaned over and kissed her on the lips. It's okay. I'll keep the gift for later. Su Qingsang blushed. Being disturbed by Hua Jinyao like that seemed to have dissipated all of a sudden. After sending Hua Jinyao off, Su Qingsang turned around and walked back, only to find that Li Qianxue had been standing at the door, looking at her from afar. After seeing her turn around, she looked embarrassed and at ease. Su Qingsang had never seen Li Qianxue like that. Feeling a little sour, his footsteps quickened. "Mom, it's windy outside. What are you doing out here?" "I'm fine. I just want to see you." Su Qingsang's eyes were a little wet, but she suppressed that feeling. She stepped forward and hooked her arm around Li Qianshue's. "Mom, you might as well look at yourself instead of me. You're much prettier than me." Li Qianshue's mood finally improved because of Su Qingsang's words. "Who said that?" "My daughter is the prettiest." Old Master Li had been waiting in the living room. In fact, he and Su Yusin had the same worries as Li Qianxue. He was afraid that Su Qingsang would run away. Now that she had not left, Old Master Li's Su Yusin breathed a sigh of relief. Li Qianxue was actually very tired. It had been a long-distance flight of more than 10 hours, and after getting off the plane, he had experienced such an emotional roller coaster. She was tired and sleepy, but she could not bear to go to sleep. After exchanging a few words with her, Su Qingsang noticed that Li Qianxue was exhausted. She couldn't bear it. "Mom, go rest. I promise I'll still be here when you wake up. Then you sleep with me tonight." Li Qianxue grabbed her hand. "Just sleep with Mom, okay?" Su Qingsang couldn't refuse, so she finally nodded. Li Qianxue was satisfied, thinking that she hadn't come back to stay before. She called the servants and asked them to go upstairs and change all the bedsheets. Old Master Li was old and couldn't afford to be tossed around. Indeed, Su Qingsang went upstairs to rest after not leaving. The mother and daughter went upstairs. Su Qingsang had a room here before, so naturally, there were clothes there. When Li Qianxue went to take a shower, Su Qingsang went back to her room to find her clothes. The servants cleaned regularly, so the things in the room were still there. Su Qingsang looked at all of this and actually felt a little emotional. She picked out a set of pajamas and returned to Li Qianshue's room. She had already taken a shower, and it seemed that she had taken a quick shower. It was as if she was afraid that she would run away. Li Qianshue's lack of security made Su Qingsang feel helpless. She took her pajamas and was about to go into the bathroom. Just like her, she wanted to get it done quickly. Li Qianshue's phone rang at this moment. The two of them looked at each other. Li Qianxue glanced at the screen, and her expression suddenly changed. Su Qingsang also saw it. It was Su Peijian's call. Li Qianxue didn't answer the phone. Previously, she was completely immersed in the matter of recognizing her daughter. Now that she had calmed down, she also thought of Su Peijian. It was a fact that Su Peijian wasn't her daughter. But no matter how much she hated Su Qinghui, she had raised Su Peijian for more than 20 years. If she was asked to treat Su Peijian coldly, she couldn't do it. But if she was asked to pretend that nothing had happened and continue to be Su Peijian's mother and daughter, she couldn't do it. Li Qianxue looked at the number now and hated Su Qinghui even more. "You'd better answer it." Su Qingsang actually sympathized with Su Peijian. She didn't dare to think about how Su Peijian would react if she knew. Li Qianxue looked at her, picked up the phone and picked up. When Su Peijian returned to her apartment, Su Yusin told Li Qianxue to ask Su Qinghui if he agreed to let her come back. But now, so much time had passed. She didn't receive a call from Su Yusin or Li Qianxue. Su Peijian had been alone in the United States. Even though Li Qianxue had hired someone to take care of her, she had had enough. Now that she had returned to her apartment, even though she had returned to China, she was still alone. What was the difference between this and letting her stay abroad? After the nanny made dinner for her that night, she had been waiting for Li Qianshue's call. After waiting for a while, he called Li Qianxue. "What did Dad say? Does he agree to let me come back?" Li Qianxue did not say anything. In fact, at this point, she really didn't know how to get along with Su Peijian. Li Qianxue didn't even want to respond to her calling her Mom. Did Dad disagree? Su Peijian's voice was suddenly full of sadness. "Dad, why are you like this? It's been so long, and you still haven't calmed down. Li Qianxue didn't want to listen anymore. She suddenly remembered why Su Qinghui had sent Su Peijian away. If not for Su Peijian, Xiang Kaiping would not have been injured. Su Qingsang would not have pity for Xiang Kaiping. Your dad hasn't calmed down yet. You should stay here for a while. When he calms down, naturally he will let you come back. Li Qianshue's voice was a little cold. Su Peijian was stunned. That's it. I'm tired today. I want to rest first. Su Peijian's voice was a little worried. Did you quarrel with Dad? Don't quarrel with Dad. If he doesn't want me to come back, I won't come back. Don't quarrel with Dad because of me. Her parents didn't have a good relationship to begin with. If they quarreled every 3 days, there would be a big quarrel every 5 days. Their relationship would probably become even worse. If that woman, Xiang Kaiping, provoked again, perhaps Su Qinghui's heart would be even more biased toward her. Because of Su Peijian's words, Li Qianxue couldn't continue to harden her heart. Su Qingsang had a mother-daughter relationship with Xiang Kaiping. How could Su Peijian not have feelings for her? I know. You should rest. I'm tired too. I'll sleep first. She was afraid that she would expose herself. Li Qianxue quickly hung up the phone. When she turned to face Su Qingsang, she felt uncomfortable again. Qingsang, will you be angry? Why would I be angry? Your sister, Su Peijian. Su Qingsang and Su Peijian's identities had been swapped. Su Qingsang was no longer Su Peijian's sister. Instead, she was her sister. After all, she has been by my side for more than 20 years. She wanted to tell her Su Peijian's background directly. However, she couldn't say it out loud. I know everything. Don't explain. Feelings weren't born. They were born together. Su Qingsang knew this very well. I'm going to take a shower. Mom, you sleep first. When Su Qingsang came out of the bathroom, only a small bedside lamp was left in the room. Li Qianshue's eyes were closed, as if she had fallen asleep. She walked to the bed quietly. Su Qingsang lay down very gently, as if she was not afraid of waking her up. Unexpectedly, Li Qianxue wasn't in a deep sleep at all. As soon as she heard her movements, she woke up and opened her eyes to look at her. Are you done? Go to sleep. Su Qingsang looked at her and really felt sorry for her. I won't run away. Li Qianxue blinked. I know you won't run away. I will, she was just a little worried. Su Qingsang held her hand. Then I'll hold your hand to sleep tonight? Okay. Li Qianxue held her hand tightly. She held it a little tightly, but Su Qingsang didn't break free. Qingsang. Li Qianxue looked at her. She couldn't get enough of her. She was clearly very sleepy, but she still wanted to say a few more words to her. It's been hard on you in the past few years. It's not hard. Su Qingsang shook her head. Mom, don't think like that. I should have treated you better. Li Qianxue really regretted it. I really should have treated you better. If that was the case, she wouldn't be as regretful, self-blaming, and upset as she was now. Her heart ached when she thought of the missed time. Don't think like that. I'm really good. How could she be good? Li Qianxue thought about how Su Qingsang had been at home before she was 18. Can you tell me about you? Anything is fine. Su Qingsang was a little embarrassed. She really didn't know what to say. Just tell me why you became a doctor. Why did Su Qingsang become a doctor? Because she couldn't understand why there would be women who didn't want their children. Therefore, she chose to become an obstetrician and gynecologist. She wanted to meet more pregnant women. She wanted to know what these mothers were thinking. But she couldn't say this to Li Qianxue. If she said it, she would feel bad again. Mom, I'll tell you something about me in medical school. We first learned theory in our freshman year. Then, Su Qingsang skipped the question just now and didn't answer, but Li Qianxue could keenly sense that she must be hiding something. If she didn't want to say it, she wouldn't ask. However, she still felt a little regretful. Her daughter wasn't close to her now. If she wanted Su Qingsang to completely believe and accept her, it wouldn't be a matter of a day or two. Su Qingsang's voice was very pleasant. At least, Li Qianxue was fascinated by it. She listened to her talk about the interesting things about going to college and how she felt when she took her first anatomy class. Those lost times were becoming clear bit by bit through this way. Li Qianxue was really too sleepy. After forcing herself to listen for more than half an hour, she finally fell asleep. After Li Qianxue fell asleep, Su Qingsang could finally take a breather. In fact, she was also tired. Looking at Li Qianxue, she gently moved her body closer to her. This feeling was quite wonderful. It was completely different from the feeling when she slept with Hua Jinyao. Hua Jinyao gave her security, peace of mind, and a thick warmth. But Li Qianxue gave her a different feeling. She couldn't tell, but this feeling was wonderful. Li Qianxue had a faint fragrance on her body. Her body was very soft and warm. Su Qingsang carefully moved her face closer to Su Qingsang's shoulder. She felt the temperature of Li Qianxue's body. This was the warmth that belonged to a mother. Su Qingsang closed her eyes, curled up the corners of her lips, and slowly fell asleep. Li Qianxue was extremely tired yesterday, but she woke up early in the morning. The excitement of the first day was too great. She had a dream that night. From the first time she met Su Qinghui to giving birth to his child. And then there was everything that happened yesterday. She dreamed that she couldn't make Su Qingsang stay. She still got on the plane to Rong City. No matter how she called, Su Qingsang refused to look back. She was scared awake by that dream. When she opened her eyes, she saw Su Qingsang sleeping next to her. Her daughter's steady breathing and rosy cheeks from a night's sleep were reminding her that she was just dreaming. As long as it was a dream. Li Qianxue's hands and feet were still a little weak. She looked at Su Qingsang's side profile. Looking at her like this, she could feel that her facial features were more similar to her. This was her daughter. Her biological daughter. Her real daughter. She looked at Su Qingsang's face leaning against her shoulder, and her hand was still holding hers. She felt like a little baby snuggling up to her parents. She had been sleeping in separate rooms with Su Qinghui for a long time. When she went to the United States, she also shared a room with Su Peixian. It had been a long time since she had slept in the same bed with someone. She couldn't help but raise her hand and pinch Su Qingsang's cheek. The warm touch reminded her that Su Qingsang was real. It wasn't a dream. Her daughter was now sleeping in the same bed with her. Hua Jinyao, stop it. Su Qingsang was disturbed by her movements. She thought that Hua Jinyao was beside her, so she muttered. She didn't wake up. Instead, she frowned and fell asleep again. Li Qianxue was stunned by her words. She seemed to have just remembered that Su Qingsang was already married. Hua Jinyao. Li Qianxue had never liked him before. All the things he did to protect Su Qingsang made her feel a little uncomfortable. Chapter 442. Although she had to be grateful to Hua Jinyao for all the things that had happened before, at least when she didn't know, he protected Su Qingsang again and again. These actions made her feel uncomfortable at the time, and she was grateful now. However, no matter how grateful she was, she couldn't hide the fact that Hua Jinyao and Su Qingsang's marriage was too casual. She didn't know it before, but now she knew. She was quite dissatisfied. Hua Jinyao had married her daughter so casually. Now he was taking Su Qingsang back to Rong City to develop. She didn't have enough love for her daughter. How could she let Hua Jinyao take her to Rong City so easily? No matter what, she should make things difficult for him, shouldn't she? There was a knock on the door, and Su Yusun's voice sounded outside. Mom, are you up? It's time for dinner. Coming. Li Qianxue quickly got up and quietly walked to the door to open it. I'll come down later. Don't disturb your sister. Let her sleep a little longer. Mom, could it be that you guys didn't sleep the whole night because of the candlelight talk? Su Yusun didn't want to be the bad guy. However, Old Master Li woke up early. Li Qianxue had been with Su Qingsang for the whole night, but Old Master Li hadn't woken up yet. Old Master Li also missed his granddaughter. If he didn't know before, it would have been fine. Now that he knew, he wanted to make up for the past 20 years. Let your sister sleep. Li Qianxue didn't want to wake her daughter up so early. They talked until late last night. I'm awake. Su Qingsang woke up while they were talking and sat up. She blinked sleepily. Her long hair was a little messy, and she habitually rubbed her eyes, looking like she wasn't fully awake. Li Qianshue's heart softened. She turned to look at her. Why don't you sleep a little longer? It's all Yusen's fault for waking you up. It's okay. I usually get up early. Su Qingsang was completely awake now. Mom, if you're sleepy, you can sleep a little longer. I'm not sleepy. Li Qianxue was also sleepy. She wanted to spend more time with her daughter, so how could she be sleepy? Su Yusen looked at the two of them, shook his head, and turned to go downstairs. Soon, Li Qianxue and Su Qingsang came downstairs. Su Qingsang was wearing the clothes that Li Qianxue had bought for her. That was originally prepared for Su Peijian. Now that Su Qingsang put it on, standing next to Li Qianxue, they looked like a pair of sisters. Su Yusen stood up. Old Master Li looked at the two people in front of him. He didn't find it strange at all. It was as if Su Qingsang was supposed to be in this house. Let's go and have breakfast first. The group moved to the dining room, and Old Master Li sat down. Li Qianxue and Su Qingsang sat on either side of him. Su Yusen sat on the other side of Su Qingsang. Breakfast was sumptuous. Yesterday, the servants at home had been instructed to prepare the dishes according to Su Qingsang's preferences. However, after so many years, he still didn't know what Su Qingsang liked to eat. He simply made a big table. Qingsang, what do you want to eat? Li Qianxue was there again. This time, she wanted to give all her motherly love to Su Qingsang. Mom, I'm really not a picky eater. Su Qingsang was afraid of her. If you do this, I won't dare to eat at home anymore. Then, Mom, it's fine as usual. Su Qingsang's words made Li Qianxue feel more at ease. The more Old Master Li looked at Su Qingsang, the more he liked her. She was not arrogant, not willful, and had a sense of propriety. She also knew when to advance and when to retreat. Qianxue, I want to hold a banquet. Halfway through the meal, Old Master Li suddenly put down his chopsticks. He looked at the other three people. We didn't know before, but now that we know, we naturally have to restore Su Qingsang's original identity. That's good. Li Qianxue fully supported it. Invite all the people in the business circle of Lin City. I want them to know who the young lady of the Su family is. There's no need for that, is there? Su Qingsang looked at the two people and looked a little uncomfortable. It's fine as it is now. There's no need for a banquet, right? Of course there is. And it's a big one. Old Master Li wanted to tell the world. I want to clear your name, and I've prepared a gift for you. Grandpa. Su Qingsang couldn't sit still anymore. She put down the chopsticks in her hand. Grandpa, I thank you. I understand how you feel. But there's one thing I have to say. She lowered her eyes and looked a little embarrassed. I'm very grateful that you're willing to acknowledge me. But I think we can forget about the banquet. My father. No matter what, he's still my father. It was indeed his fault for doing this back then. But now that the mistake has been made, the situation is already like this. Then we can only face it. If you acknowledge me with great fanfare, I'll become the young lady of the Su family. Then what about Su Peijian? As soon as the name Su Peijian came out, the other three people were silent. Even if Su Peijian wasn't Li Qianshue's daughter, but for more than 20 years, she had grown up under their love. This matter was Su Qinghui's fault, and it had nothing to do with Su Peijian. But if Old Master Li acknowledged her with great fanfare, what would Su Qinghui do? I'm not soft-hearted and I'm not a saint. It's enough for our own family to know about this. Most importantly, for Su Qinghui. No matter what, Su Qinghui was her father. He was her biological father. Although she also felt that what Su Qinghui had done was too much. But blood ties couldn't be cut. She couldn't destroy Su Qinghui just because Su Qinghui had replaced her and changed her identity. If people knew that Su Qinghui had planned such a vicious plot many years ago, how could Su Qinghui gain a foothold in Lin City in the future? Now Old Master Li wanted to kick him out, and Li Qianxue wanted to divorce him. Su Yusen blamed Su Qinghui, and Xiang Kaiping hated him. When Su Peijian found out, she would probably blame Su Qinghui. Su Qinghui, who had been betrayed by his family, would have to face the strange eyes of those people in Lin City. Su Qingsang couldn't bear to think about it. What happened had already happened. There was no point in looking into it again. She didn't want to ruin the last bit of Su Qinghui's reputation. After his divorce with Li Qianxue, his reputation would be affected. That could be considered a punishment, right? But Li Qianxue looked at Su Qingsang's face and only felt anxious. But if that's the case, it's too unfair for you. It's not unfair. Su Qingsang blinked. Mom, if you really think I'm unfair, then be nice to me in the future. Li Qianxue didn't speak. She felt sad. This was her daughter. She couldn't even tell others that this was her daughter. Then, even if you don't want us to hold a banquet, at least let me ask our family to come over for a meal. Let's get to know each other? Su Qingsang couldn't refuse this request. She nodded. Then it's just a meal. There's no need to pick a time. Let's do it tomorrow. Old Master Li waved his hand. Tomorrow is not the Lantern Festival. Let them come together for the festival and get to know each other. Su Qingsang didn't object this time. She couldn't object. If our relatives and friends come over tomorrow, we can just say that we gave birth to a child in the same hospital that was accidentally switched. Su Yusen suddenly spoke, which made Su Qingsang look at him. She had forgotten before that there could be such a story. However, she quickly realized that those who could survive in the business world of Lin City were all shrewd people. Even if this story was tenable for a while, unless Li Qianxue could maintain the original husband and wife relationship with Su Qinghui. Otherwise, Li Qianxue would insist on divorcing Su Qinghui as soon as she found out that the baby had been switched. No matter how she looked at it, this matter seemed to be a conspiracy. Old Master Li was angry when he talked about this matter. We have to say this, and they have to be willing to believe it. Whether they believe it or not is their business, whether they say it or not is our business. No matter what, we can still show our attitude. Like Su Qingsang, Su Yusen didn't want Su Qinghui to end up too badly. No matter what, he was still their father. Li Qianxue's face was cold and she didn't speak. She was not only disappointed in Su Qinghui now. There was resentment, hatred, pain, and regret. After dinner, I will contact Lawyer Qin. Li Qianxue looked at Su Yusen as she spoke. Yusen, you are not 18 yet, but you will be soon. Qingsang is already an adult, and your future life has nothing to do with your father. I want to divorce him. Old Master Li had no objection. Don't give him a cent of the company's shares. I want him to leave the family with nothing. This kind of thing goes without saying. I said it. I will give him what he wants. No matter what, he has worked hard for the Li Group to make a lot of money for the past 20 years. When Li Qianxue said this, there was obvious hatred in her eyes. Just think of it as spending money to buy out the past with him. Qianxue, that's it? Li Qianxue thought for a moment. I will call Lawyer Qin over later. Ask him to send the divorce agreement over today. Su Yusen and Su Qingsang looked at each other. They both knew that they were powerless to stop this matter. Su Qingsang's lips moved. She wanted to say something, but Li Qianxue seemed to be able to understand her thoughts. Qingsang, you don't have to persuade me about this matter. I have already decided. I have been let down by him all my life. I used to think that if I treated him well, he would understand it forever. Now it seems that it is impossible. Since you know that you are my daughter, you should know how vicious his intentions are. He wants to give the Li Group in the end. Li Qianxue couldn't continue. Anyway, don't persuade me. Su Qingsang nodded and didn't say anything else that would make Li Qianxue unhappy. Okay, I support you. Su Yusen was on the side, unable to stop his parents from divorcing. He could only be glad that they were all grown up now. Su Qingsang didn't expect Li Qianxue to act so quickly. Not long after dinner, she called Lawyer Qin over. Chapter 443. Mr. Qin was the exclusive lawyer of the Li Group. He never thought that one day he would receive such a request from his employer. Jim Li, are you serious? Of course. Li Qianxue looked determined. If it wasn't because she had already gone through a night's buffer, she wouldn't have been able to remain so calm. Su Qinghui had been married to her for so many years, and he had a lot of property under his name. Those were his property to begin with, so Li Qianxue wouldn't care about them. As for the share that originally belonged to the Li Group, she could also give it to Su Qinghui, depending on the situation. Su Qinghui had 10% of the company's shares, which had originally belonged to him. Although Li Qianxue was angry, she did not intend to take back the shares. But there was one thing: Su Qinghui has no right to sell or transfer the shares of the Li Group. If you want to transfer or sell it, you can only sell it to Li Qianxue or the Su siblings. Li Qianxue didn't want Su Qinghui to give so many shares to Su Peijian in the future. She had raised Su Peijian for more than 20 years. In the future, she would give her the treatment she deserved. However, Su Peijian could forget about Li Group's shares. It had never belonged to her in the first place, and it would never be hers in the future. The rest was just a small problem. Li Qianxue was very detailed. Su Qingsang listened on the side and felt that although Su Qinghui had divorced Li Qianxue, as long as he didn't make too much trouble in the future, he wouldn't have a bad life. She looked up at Li Qianxue, even though Su Qinghui had done so many outrageous things. He was afraid that Li Qianxue still had feelings for him. Li Qianxue didn't care about her daughter's emotions. After saying all that she could give to Su Qinghui, Li Qianxue added, "I'll send it to him today. When the Civil Affairs Bureau starts working tomorrow, I'll go and settle the paperwork." She couldn't wait any longer. All right. Lawyer Chen was in a difficult position, but he still stood up and put away his notebook. "Where is General Manager Su now? Just call him." Li Qianxue didn't care about Su Qinghui anymore. For her, Su Qinghui had become a person who had nothing to do with her. Whether he lived or died had nothing to do with her. When Lawyer Chen walked out, Hu Jinyao happened to come over. "Hu Jinyao? Why you here?" Su Qingsang stood up and walked to his side. She thought he had returned to Rong City today. "Our flight is in the afternoon," Hu Jinyao said, glancing at Su Qingsang with a meaningful look. "Afternoon? What time is it?" "Around 3 o'clock. Hu Jinyao thought of the lie he told Xiang Kaiping yesterday. Xiang Kaiping didn't suspect anything yesterday, but she was a little worried when she didn't see Su Qingsang this morning. She kept asking Hu Jinyao why Su Qingsang wasn't back yet. "I don't think you can hide it anymore." Hu Jinyao's voice was very soft. "I'll try to get her on the plane this afternoon. But I can't guarantee that I'll be able to fool her." After all, Xiang Kaiping had been working hard in the outside world for so many years. She had good judgment. "Unless you follow me back to Rong City, I'm afraid you won't be able to hide it." Su Qingsang looked a little conflicted. She turned around and saw that Li Qianxue and Su Yusen were standing behind them, obviously listening to her plan. You go back first." Su Qingsang thought about it for a long time and gave such an answer. "Send her back to my apartment first, then let Xiao Yu and Xiao Ning stay to take care of her. Then I'll go over and explain to her tonight." "Are you sure?" "Yes." Su Qingsang thought about it. No matter how good she was, she couldn't hide it forever. Li Qianxue was always careful when facing her, which made her feel bad. After thinking about it, she could only make it clear to Xiang Kaiping. Since she was destined to let one side down, she had to make a choice. Hu Jinyao clearly saw that Li Qianxue and Su Yusen were behind Su Qingsang. They were relieved because of her words. "Do you need me to go with you?" Hu Jinyao was still a little worried. "No need." Su Qingsang shook her head. "You've wasted enough time because of me. Go back to Rong City in the afternoon. Say hello to Grandpa for me. And say sorry to him that I can't go to celebrate the festival with him. Don't worry. I said it. Grandpa won't blame you." Hu Jinyao rubbed the top of her head affectionately. Su Qingsang wasn't sure if old Master Hu really wouldn't blame her. But at the moment, she really wanted to deal with these things in Lin City before she could go to Rong City. Hu Jinyao didn't leave until after lunch at the Su family. Before he left, he called Yang Wenchang and asked him to make arrangements for Xiang Kaiping. He went directly to the airport. Su Qingsang said she would drive him, but he refused. Hu Jinyao asked her to tell Xiang Kaiping that she and Su Peijian had been switched. Watching Hu Jinyao leave, Su Qingsang suddenly felt more like a student. How could it be so easy to tell Xiang Kaiping that she and Su Peijian had been switched? If Xiang Kaiping found out, she was afraid that she would go crazy. At a time like this, Su Qinghui should be the one to talk. However, Su Qinghui probably wasn't in the mood to face Xiang Kaiping now. Su Qinghui sat in the office for the whole night. He didn't sleep, nor did he rest. After leaving the Su family yesterday, Su Qinghui suddenly found that he had nowhere to go. Of course, he had more than one house in Lin City. But those houses were cold and lifeless. He stayed there for the whole night, sitting in a daze. He didn't know where he could go. He didn't know who he could ask for help. There were so many names in his phone's contact list, but at this time, no one could help him, because none of them could solve his problem. His phone rang. Su Qinghui suddenly seemed to come back to his senses and picked it up. He thought it would be Li Qianxue or anyone else in the Su family. But on the other end of the phone, it was Lawyer Chen. Lawyer Chen asked him where he was. After learning that he was in the company, he asked him to wait for a few minutes and said that he would be there soon. Su Qinghui hung up the phone, looking a little confused. He didn't know why the lawyer was here. A possibility flashed through his mind. However, Su Qinghui refused to think about that possibility, refused to face it. But no matter how much he refused, what would come would still come. Lawyer Chen entered the door, sat down opposite him, and took out a divorce agreement from his bag. General Manager Su, I'm sorry. I was wronged by Mr. Li. I came to give you the divorce agreement. Do you want to take a look? Divorce agreement? Su Qinghui felt as if his heart had been punched so hard that he couldn't straighten his back. Chapter 444. Su Qinghui stared blankly at the divorce agreement. He didn't even look at its contents. He raised his head slightly and looked at Lawyer Chen. She asked you to send it over? Mr. Chen was the lawyer of the Li Group. He had a good relationship with Li Qianxue and Su Qinghui. Meeting Su Qinghui's eyes, he felt very uncomfortable. Yes. Just send this over? Su Qinghui didn't even look at the agreement. He stared at Lawyer Chen and insisted on an answer. President Li said that if it's possible, General Manager Su, please sign it as soon as possible. Because she wants to get the paperwork done quickly. Her words undoubtedly stabbed Su Qinghui in the heart again. He closed his eyes, unwilling to face this fact, even if he already knew it. I won't sign it. President Su, I won't sign it. If you want me to sign, let her talk to me herself. Lawyer Chen looked troubled. Mr. Su, please don't make things difficult for me. I'm not trying to make things difficult for you. I'm just telling you. If she wants me to sign, I won't sign it unless she comes herself. Su Qinghui didn't know what he was obsessed with, but he knew very well that he didn't want to let it go like this. He couldn't just let it go like this. Lawyer Chen looked at Su Qinghui. He had no idea how things had turned out this way. In fact, as a lawyer of the Li Group, he knew more than the average person. Su Qinghui and Li Qianxue were not as harmonious as they appeared on the surface. But no matter how bad their relationship was, the two of them had been together for more than 20 years. Speaking of which, the two of them were both good to the outside world and the inside world. Their teamwork was pretty good. How many rich couples had deep feelings for each other? But he didn't expect that after a year. He didn't know how it ended up like this. Sighing, Lawyer Chen also knew that there was no room for negotiation. After all, Li Qianxue's attitude yesterday was so firm. President Su, I'll leave the document here. I think you should take a look at it first before deciding whether to sign it or not. Su Qinghui didn't say anything. Lawyer Chen left the documents behind and left. Su Qinghui was the only one left in the office. He sat there for a long time without moving. When Su Qingsang parked the car in front of her apartment, she looked a little hesitant. Before she went out, Li Qianxue looked reluctant. He even wanted to follow her. But she rejected him. If Li Qianxue was here, things would get even more complicated. Li Qianxue finally let her go after she repeatedly promised that she would go home after she made it clear to Xiang Kaiping. Sitting in the car, Su Qingsang suddenly didn't dare to face Xiang Kaiping. She had known about it for a long time, but she had never told Xiang Kaiping. I wonder if she will blame me? Su Qingsang didn't know. After sitting in the car in a daze for a few minutes, she finally opened the door. When she got out of the car, there was a car parked right behind her. She stared blankly at the familiar license plate. When Su Qinghui got out of the car, Su Qingsang's eyes widened. Dad? Why is he here? She was so surprised that she even forgot to close the car door. She stared blankly as Su Qinghui walked toward her step by step. When she got closer, she found that Su Qinghui looked very haggard. His chin was full of scum, and his eyes were bloodshot. Dad. Su Qinghui stood there and looked at Su Qingsang. This was his daughter. He closed his eyes and his voice was a little weak. Why are you here? Su Qingsang thought for a moment and decided to tell the truth. I came to explain to Auntie about my identity. Hearing that, Su Qinghui couldn't help but look at her again. You're going to explain? Su Qingsang thought to herself. If she didn't explain, should she let Su Qinghui explain? Dad, why are you here? I'll explain to her. Su Qinghui's voice sounded a little tired. He sat in his office for a long time. He found that he had done many things wrong. In the past, he could still find excuses and reasons for himself. But now, he couldn't even find an excuse for himself. He thought that what was wrong. Since it was already wrong, he would find a way to make up for it. The first thing was to get everything back on track. Su Qingsang widened her eyes and looked at Su Qinghui in disbelief. Was he serious? Go back. I'll go upstairs and talk to her. Su Qingsang stood there and thought for a moment. She shook her head and said, No need. I'll go with you. After all, she had been with Xiang Kaiping for a few months. If Xiang Kaiping was really annoyed or angry later, she might be able to talk to her. Xiang Kaiping didn't expect to see Su Qingsang and Su Qinghui at the same time. In fact, when Su Qingsang didn't come back yesterday and He Jinyao sent her back to her apartment this morning, she had a vague feeling that something was wrong. She thought about calling Su Qingsang. However, He Jinyao said that she had something to do, so she wanted to wait for her. However, she didn't expect to see Su Qingsang and Su Qinghui at the same time. That surprised her a little. She wanted to drive Su Qinghui out, but she gave up when she saw Su Qingsang. Su Qingsang saw Xiang Kaiping with mixed feelings and called her mother softly. Qingsang, you're back? Has the matter at the hospital been resolved? Ah? Su Qingsang nodded, looked at Xiao Yu and Xiao Ning and said, Are the dishes ready for dinner? Xiao Yu and Xiao Ning. Why don't you go buy some vegetables? Xiao Yu and Xiao Ning looked at each other and stood up at the same time. Okay, let's go now. The two of them left. The living room suddenly became quiet. Su Qinghui, who had been standing at the door, took a step inside. Qingsang, didn't you say that you were going to Rong City for the festival? You're back so late today. Are you still going to Rong City? I'm not in a hurry. But I'm afraid that He Jinyao's family will have a problem with you. I have something to do at the moment, so I can't go. When Su Qingsang saw the concern in Xiang Caiping's eyes, she couldn't say a word. Let me say it. Su Qinghui walked to Xiang Kaiping in 2 steps. When he saw the disgust in her eyes, his heart didn't fluctuate at all. What do you want to say? Xiang Kaiping stared at Su Qinghui warily. Make it short. She was annoyed and didn't want to see Su Qinghui, which made Su Qingsang a little uncomfortable. She glanced at Su Qinghui and said, Dad, sit down and talk. I'll go to the kitchen and get you some water. She turned into the kitchen and poured 2 glasses of water. When she came out, Su Qinghui had already sat down on the sofa opposite Xiang Kaiping. Kaiping, what I'm going to say next might make you angry, or you might hate me. But I want you to calm down and listen to me. Since you know that I'll be angry after hearing it, then don't say it. Xiang Kaiping said coldly, her face full of mockery. Su Qinghui didn't care. Seeing Su Qingsang walk to him, he took the glass from her hand. The warm water calmed him down. He stared at the glass in his hand, not looking at Xiang Kaiping. 25 years ago, you gave birth to our child in the hospital. At that time, you were still angry with me. So you threw the child to me and asked me to take care of it. Su Qinghui's voice was calm, as if he was talking about someone else's business. Xiang Kaiping instinctively felt that something bad was going to happen. She gripped the armrest of the wheelchair tightly and stared at Su Qinghui warily. What are you trying to say? Su Qingsang closed her eyes, as if she had gone back to more than 20 years ago, back to the days when she was obsessed with him. In order to take revenge on Li Qianxue, I took her child, and our child. Later, I couldn't bear it, so I took the child back. Xiang Kaiping widened her eyes and looked at Su Qinghui in disbelief. He kept his head down and stared at the glass of water in front of him. That's what happened. I took your and Li Qianxue's child. Su Qingsang is Li Qianxue's daughter. Su Peijian is our child. Su Qingsang already knew that, but hearing Su Qinghui say it out loud, she still felt quite complicated. She looked at Xiang Kaiping with a worried face, worried that she couldn't take it. Xiang Kaiping sat there in a daze. She didn't speak, nor did she move. If she made a fuss, Su Qingsang could still think of a way to comfort her. But Xiang Kaiping was like this, and she didn't even know how to comfort her. The word, mother, went through her heart, but she didn't say it out loud. She handed the glass of water to Xiang Kaiping, trying to comfort her in this way. Xiang Kaiping looked at the glass of water, then looked at Su Qingsang's face. You already knew, didn't you? Su Qingsang met Xiang Caiping's eyes and didn't know what to say. Xiang Kaiping suddenly grabbed her wrist. Su Qingsang was caught off guard, and some water spilled out of her hand. No one had time to care about that. Xiang Kaiping stared at her face and said word by word, You already knew, didn't you? Su Qingsang nodded. I knew before the Lunar New Year. You knew before the Lunar New Year? Xiang Kaiping tightened her grip and looked at Su Qingsang. Her tone was colder than before. You knew before the Lunar New Year? Su Qingsang couldn't bear to see her agitated face, but she had to say what she wanted to say. That time, you were injured and hospitalized. I knew. You were type O, but I was type AB. She didn't say the rest, but Xiang Kaiping understood what she meant. At that time, Su Qingsang knew that Xiang Kaiping wasn't her daughter. You didn't tell me? Why didn't you tell me? Xiang Caiping's voice was several degrees higher than before. She stared at Su Qingsang, unable to believe that she wasn't her daughter. How could this be? How could this be? Su Qingsang couldn't say it out loud. I'm sorry. At that time, I only knew that I wasn't your child. But I didn't know whose child I was. I used to think that I was born from my father and a woman outside. Chapter 445. There was still some time before Su Qingsang found out that she was not Xiang Caiping's daughter. How could Xiang Kaiping accept this news so easily? She looked at Su Qingsang and felt that she had been betrayed by the whole world. Su Qinghui had betrayed her, and now Su Qingsang had betrayed her as well. Xiang Kaiping couldn't accept it. She stared at Su Qingsang's hand and insisted on an answer. Why didn't you tell me? Tell me. Tell me. Su Qingsang looked at Xiang Caiping's hand. Her voice was very soft. I'm sorry. I actually wanted to tell you. But you were injured at that time, and you couldn't take the stimulation. Another reason was that I didn't know whose daughter I was. I don't know where your daughter is. I asked my dad, but he wouldn't tell me. I kept guessing, but I couldn't figure it out. Later on, I felt that it didn't matter whose daughter I was. Why don't I recognize you? It's good that we can depend on each other like this from now on. During that time, Su Qingsang really regarded Xiang Kaiping as her mother. She really wanted to spend the rest of her life with Xiang Kaiping. Mom. In fact, it was obviously not appropriate to call her mom at this time, but Su Qingsang couldn't change the way she addressed her. She squatted down in front of Xiang Kaiping to look her in the eye. I'm sorry. I really didn't know before. I'm really grateful to you from the bottom of my heart, and I really see you as my mother. Xiang Kaiping looked at Su Qingsang. There was a ball of fire in her heart. That ball of fire kept burning in her heart, giving her the urge to burn everything down. Then how do you know now? Didn't you say he wouldn't tell you? As she spoke, she glared at Su Qinghui. That gaze seemed to be able to pierce through him. Su Qingsang suddenly fell silent. She didn't know what to say. In fact, Hua Jinyao guessed it, so she went to do a paternity test. Now that things had come to this, it was meaningless to talk about how they discovered it. The damage was done. I told her. Su Qinghui's voice sounded a little abrupt. He looked at Xiang Kaiping, not avoiding her gaze. Kaiping. I said it. These things were also done by me. Don't look at Qingsang. In fact, she never wanted to hurt you. You can see it from her decision to go to Rong City with you. She has really decided to live with you. Kaiping. I know this may be hard for you, but that was the truth. Qingsang is not your daughter. Peijin is. Sorry. Xiang Kaiping finally let go of Su Qingsang's hand and turned to face Su Qinghui. His sharp gaze was filled with monstrous hatred. After I come back, you'll know that I've acknowledged Qingsang, right? Xiang Caiping's voice was sharp, and her tone was rather blunt. You came to me again and again just to tell me this? Yes. Su Qinghui nodded and faced Caiping's anger. You had many opportunities to tell me, but you didn't tell me even once, right? Yes. Su Qinghui didn't deny it. At that time, I couldn't open my mouth at first, but later, it became more and more difficult for me to say it. For revenge, you gave my daughter to the woman I hate the most to raise, right? Su Qinghui closed his eyes. He couldn't argue. He had nothing to say. Xiang Kaiping suddenly reached out, snatched the cup from Su Qingsang's hand, and threw it in Su Qinghui's direction. Su Qinghui didn't dodge. The cup hit his chest heavily, then fell to the ground and shattered. Su Qingsang wanted to stop him, but it was too late. Seeing Su Qinghui hit the cup, the water inside spilled out, soaking most of his clothes. For some reason, she couldn't bear it. Her lips moved, wanting to say something, but she couldn't say a word. Su Qinghui, why don't you go to hell? Xiang Kaiping was really angry. Her chest rose and fell violently, and the expression on her face was no longer as calm as before. It was ferocious and angry. Why did you give my child to someone else to raise? Why did you change my child's life? What did you tell me when you took my daughter away? You said that you would take good care of your daughter, and you said that you would give her the best. So this is what you meant by the best of everything? Su Qinghui couldn't refute that. Under those circumstances, he had indeed decided to give the Li group to Su Peijin. That was the best he could give her. Su Qinghui, what right do you have to make decisions for my daughter? Xiang Kaiping was really angry. She was angry, hurt, and regretful. This feeling was even more regretful than when she found out that Su Qinghui ignored Su Qingsang and didn't take good care of her daughter. Do you think that I will thank you for turning my daughter into the Su family's young miss? Do you think I will forgive you because you made my daughter the granddaughter of the Li family? In your dreams. Let me tell you, I won't. I won't forgive you. You made my daughter recognize the woman I hate the most as her mother. Do you think you are doing this for her good? Do you think you are doing this for her good by giving her property and money? Su Qinghui, you don't understand love at all. You don't understand anything at all. Let me tell you, don't think I will forgive you. Impossible. Xiang Kaiping pointed at Su Qinghui. She was so angry that she couldn't face him calmly. I won't. Su Qinghui. I won't be grateful to you. I won't forgive you. I will only hate you. Su Qinghui's face was pale. He looked even more haggard than before. Kaiping. Kaiping, I really did it on impulse. I already regret it. I also know that you will blame me and hate me. But I really did it for the sake of our daughter. For the sake of our daughter? Why don't you say that you did it for yourself? Xiang Kaiping unceremoniously exposed his lie. You just wanted to take revenge on Li Qianxue. But you couldn't find a way. You couldn't deal with her, so you came up with such a vicious idea. You didn't do it to give your daughter everything you think is best, as you said. You just wanted to satisfy your own ridiculous desire for revenge. Xiang Kaiping said all this in one breath. In the end, she felt as if all the energy in her body had been sucked out. She lowered her head and glanced at the broken pieces on the floor. There were many voices in her heart, many words. In the end, they all turned into one sentence. Su Qinghui, I am really disappointed in you. She still remembered the young man from before. He was high-spirited and full of ambition. He said that he wanted to make a lot of money and give her a good life. At that time, she was innocent and naive, and she believed his words. Where did it go wrong? That young man grew up and became a successful businessman. After her outburst, Xiang Kaiping was left with only a blank look. She hated not only Su Qinghui but also herself at this time. She shouldn't have come back, and she shouldn't have appeared. She shouldn't have come to claim her daughter. That way, she wouldn't have known that Su Qinghui had swapped her daughter. She wouldn't have known that Su Qinghui had become such a person. That way, she would still be able to keep a beautiful image in her heart, imagining that her daughter was living a happy life, not like this. Even if Su Peijian became the eldest daughter of the Su family, Xiang Kaiping wouldn't be happy. Su Qinghui had been criticized by Xiang Kaiping so many times. But it didn't hurt as much as this sentence. Xiang Kaiping was disappointed in him. He knew that what he had done was indeed very disappointing. But now, the person who was disappointed was Xiang Kaiping. Ever since he was young, he had treated her like his own sister. She was like a close relative to him. Now she said that she was disappointed in him. Su Qinghui didn't know what else he could say. He just sat there in a daze and didn't move. Xiang Kaiping closed her eyes and didn't look at Su Qinghui. She turned her face away, not wanting to look at Su Qinghui anymore. Su Qinghui sat there motionlessly, looking at Xiang Kaiping with a complicated look in his eyes. Get out. Xiang Kaiping pointed in the direction of the door. Get out of here. I don't want to see you. Seeing that Su Qinghui was still standing there, she suddenly got angry. She couldn't care less about her waist that had just recovered. She stood up and quickly rushed to Su Qinghui to pull his arm. Get out. Get out of here. If you don't leave, I won't be polite. I won't be polite to you. Su Qinghui was pulled to his feet by her. Looking at Xiang Kaiping, who was full of anger and had completely lost her cool, he stood up. Kaiping. I'm sorry. Get out. Xiang Kaiping pulled his arm and pushed him out of the door. Kaiping? Get out. Xiang Kaiping became agitated again because of his presence. Seeing this, Su Qingsang took 2 steps forward. Dad, you should leave first. Xiang Kaiping was so agitated at this moment. It was obviously not a good time to talk. Su Qinghui looked at Su Qingsang. He didn't just feel sorry for Li Qianxue, Xiang Kaiping, and Su Qingsang. Qingsang. You should leave. Su Qingsang gave him a look. Hurry up. His presence here would only make things worse. Su Qinghui actually knew this. He took a step back, looked at Xiang Kaiping, and then looked at Su Qingsang. Qingsang. I'm sorry. This was what he owed Su Qingsang. He wouldn't run away because of this. Su Qingsang was stunned for a moment. She was very surprised to hear this word from her father's mouth. Xiang Kaiping glanced at Su Qingsang and wanted to tell her to leave too. But at this moment, she suddenly remembered that this was Su Qingsang's home. This realization made her angry. She snorted and pushed Su Qinghui away. At the same time, she didn't forget to close the door. Turning around, she saw Su Qingsang standing there. She was looking at Su Qingsang, and Su Qingsang was also looking at her. Their eyes met. The mother and daughter, who used to be intimate, didn't say a word at this moment. Su Qingsang really didn't know what else she could say. She felt that whatever she said would be wrong, and the more she said, the more wrong it would be. Xiang Kaiping stared at her face. After spending a few months with Su Qingsang, she had a certain understanding of her. You're tuning in to the Passion Pages YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.